Yay!
Strong intro.
All right, we did it. We're live.
Yeah.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey, woo!
Yeah, hype, hype,
So far
hype.
alive.
So, we're coming back to a session where we're actually mid-combat. So, I'm going to do one quick thing, then we're going to jump right in. The quick thing is to call to attention that we have changed our charity at the top.
Excellent sound effect, by the way.
Right? Yeah, that was
yes.
cool. I'm glad it worked out.
Okay.
That was not
I
planned.
hope it's intentional. If it's not, we're gonna pretend. Yeah.
I'll take credit for it.
Yeah.
We are professionals here.
Yeah.
So we
Consummate professionals.
100%. We reached our $2,000 goal. Actually, plus it was like $2,090, I believe, for Surf Rider. By the time everything was said and finished with that. So thank you everyone who donated. You
And
were awesome,
stream
obviously.
total is over 10,000. Like,
Yes, that brings our stream
yes.
total to over 10,000.
That's the other really cool part.
Which is huge. So a lot of big things happening for fundraising, and of course, that comes from obviously everyone in the community willing to donate and just being a part of the experience, right? Those little $10 donations here and there really do add up and become a landslide of difference. So thank you for those donations, and of course, hopefully thank you in the future. We already got a couple this stream, which is great. International Rescue Committee, real quick, is basically just focused on helping people who are displaced by war, conflict, or natural disaster, right? So there's a lot of stuff happening worldwide, from like Afghanistan to Ukraine to North Africa and beyond, right? Those are just a couple off the top of my head, where the IRC is working diligently to make sure people are given like proper food, water, humanitarian shelter, and aid, and trying to make the best out of an already pretty terrible situation wherever they may be. So I feel this is a incredibly important cause, and so if you have the if you have the ability to do so, please donate, right? Again, if that's not in the cards for you, that's fine. Join our Discord, join our channels, come hang out, because the more visibility and traction we get for the channel, the more the cause is seen, and hopefully more people come to hang out and donate, right? And then beyond that, beyond just asking for you for money, we have fun memes and good pet photos in our Discord, which are all quality and 100% worth it. Heck yeah, that's all I got. Any other thoughts before we start?
Also, we seem to have turned the Discord into a really good tattoo depository.
Also, yes,
Actually,
yeah,
that's true.
the
Yes.
tattoo channel is just absolutely banging right now. Those are words? It's great. They're all good. It's good ink.
Yeah.
I sound like I've never gotten a tattoo in my life.
It's
fantastic.
Yeah,
You
arty
just
stuff.
point to the wall and you go that one. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, that looks cool, you know?
Yeah.
All right, let me switch over to the battle map. There we go. That's still just a little too big. Let's resize you just slightly. There we go. Cool. All right. So last we left our heroes, they were trying to escape Neverwinter due to a variety of terrible things that had happened. But the biggest issue there that occurred was a powerful wizard named Zengi seems to have taken over the city, and it's now fallen under a strange spell of some type that makes it so that people who live in the city are unaware of the fact that they're being currently occupied by undead monstrosities and fearsome demonic creatures that are just openly walking the city streets and are ignored by most of the population. This, of course, is all terrible. But beyond that, there are a few points that the player or the characters wanted to check out before they left the city. And one, of course, Odette wanted to check on her dancers at the Academy of Dance. Well, unfortunately, when Odette arrived, or I guess fortunately, she found that her...
Yes.
It's true.
You're
I mean,
right.
like, of the bad things that have happened to Neverwinter, like Zengi, but like Chantel.
Chantel's 100% worse than Zengi. Like, Zengi just wants to do bad guy wizard stuff. Chantel just sucks.
Chantel is the worst. So, first off,
Yeah, Justin,
had
fucking
fun.
grip it,
Killed my
grip it,
mentor.
baby.
second
Slump
off,
that down,
nearly
dude.
killed me.
Yeah, dude.
Third
Prep
off,
one for the big
killing
boy.
my actors. Fourth off, killing my friends.
Fifth
yeah.
off, that
Absolutely
hair
the worst.
really no.
Also stealing
Stop the
people's
show.
abilities. Oh, what was
Like,
that?
girl, you should have rethought that before you
Stop
paid
the
that
show. The show
stylist.
must go on. That's the
The
number
show
one
must-
rule. She ruined it.
You ruined.
Well, we did save. We saved 2 actors, 3 actors.
We
So
saved
far,
Flynn, and that's the
uh,
important thing.
Yes.
yeah, Flynn managed to make a run for it, right? Valen, you were instrumental in rescuing him. Becca was also being like life drained by a wraith as you all kicked in the door, but have since aggroed the wraiths, and Becca seems fine. At least is not surrounded by things sucking the life out of her. So improvement in the situation, right? Itzel's had some complications in this encounter, being thrown through the slowly growing in size, strange dark portal that is now reaching out and pulling little motes of light energy from the other actors who are surrounding it. Uh, Unfortunately, Daphne here at the top, we already saw that she didn't make it. A specter rose out of her body as the wraith consumed the last of her life energy. When that specter was quickly destroyed. But the rest of the actors, unknown fate, seem to be very hurt, but could potentially be rescued. And the last thing I'll remind everyone before we start, well, 2 things. One, the roof is open now. So the entire stage and what used to be the sitting area of this theater is now just bathed in bright midday sunlight.
Which we are reasonably sure these wraiths don't like.
That wraith number 3 screamed and started to sizzle when that happened. So he's not having a good time.
The absolute best.
Right. Oh no, we lost Bella again.
Bella is gone.
She'll be back. So, buff out. The other thing is that magical circle appeared, right? Odette, before this journey to the theater, your undying ancestor prompted you, or at least someone prompted you, you think it was her, through your book, right, to go to the theater, and that it would help you get out of the city, right? As you were in the middle of this combat, all the benches and seats were hello, welcome back, were thrown to the side through some type of magic, and a glowing teleportation circle appeared on the floor. And you everyone heard what sounded like Lady Laura say, "Go, I can get you out." So there's an out.
Well, I just missed the entire recap, but good thing my mind is like a safe, and I totally remember everything that's happened.
Oh, I'll give you the Twitter recap. Shit's bad. Chantel sucks. There's a teleportation circle that you can leave.
See, I do remember everything that happened. Awesome.
I got you.
All we have to do is bail on all of the actors lying on the floor.
Yeah.
And let Chantel live.
Yes.
Yeah, that's too easy.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go, and we'll get started. Right. We're at the top of the order. Let me pull up my little handy dandy
Would
initiatives
you mind
tracker.
reminding us of that order?
I can remind you of that order. So if you would like to write it down, for the folks who are playing along at home, on the basically top of the order is the sun/theater effects, right? So obviously anything that is bathed in sunlight will take damage on that turn. Beyond that, see, now I have to make me pull up notes and stuff. I can't just pretend like I know what I'm doing. Odette's going on a 26. Valen's going on a 25. Itzel is going on a 19. Chantel is going on an 18. The Wraiths are going on a 13. Bella is going on a 7.
Yeah.
And the dancers are going or making death saving throws or what have you on a 1, just kind of as the end of the initiative, right? They didn't roll poorly. That's just where they're taking their action.
Cool. Yeah.
Cool. So with that, let's get into it. Wraith 3 is bathed in sunlight and is having the worst time of its unlife. Get some dice here. As this, Odette finally finishes cranking open the theater roof and then breaking the contraption so that it actually stays open. You see just golden sunlight pouring down, and this wraith begins to freak out as it is just bathed in. Oh, jeez. That's a lot of damage. Ooh. Wraith 3 was already looking kind of rough to begin with. This is one that has been moonbeamed multiple times by Itzel, I believe. So it's already not having a great time, and it just doesn't quite burst into flames, but like the shadow around it just starts to like fly away, and it just seems to reduce in presence. Right, it's still active and alive, but it is badly hurt as the sunlight just pours over it, and it screams and yeah, it screams and tries to run out of the way, which it will on its turn. We'll deal with that later. Any other actions? Nope. Odette, you're up.
Yes. How high am I? Oh, I'm on the other side of this curtain.
Correct. You are backstage currently.
Can I go through this curtain? The scrim. I'm assuming it's the scrim.
Yeah, you can cut through it. You just have to. I'm going to ask for a. Give you two options. You can break it, or you can try to like go under and around it. Right. So it's your call.
Okay.
If you want to like just burst through it, it's going to be an athletics check. If you want to try to like go gracefully through it and not destroy your theater, I'll ask for some either sleight of hand or acrobatics.
I think she's broken enough of the theater for one day. General Corzan, God rest him, or God's rest him, trusted me with this, and I'm not going to break it anymore. So I think she is going to try to slink under, over, through the scrim, just to like get to the source of her ire. Chantel,
Heck yeah, roll it.
dare you? So
Call this DC 15 acrobatics.
yes,
Since it is designed to be held in place and not move. But you know how this is all set up.
Well, I have a +9 and I rolled a 2. So I'm kidding.
Look, you know for a fact that Valerie, your stage manager, who's unfortunately next to Itzel having a bad time, she rocks at making sure that everything is secured and properly safe, right? So you try to like find a place where this back curtain has not been secured properly, and like you can't. This is triple checked multiple times, and you're like, oh shit.
Oh no.
That's what it is. So
okay.
you have to go around or break through it. Your call.
Will it take an action to break through, or just like an action?
I will say now it will.
Yeah.
Because the first one was a free interact, but since you failed, it'll cost you an action to break through now.
No trouble. Let me measure. How far?
A little protractor.
45 feet.
Still not a protractor. Still not a protractor.
It's a square. It's a square.
That's definitely a triangle.
It's or you can call it an architect's triangle, or whatever, but it's definitely not a protractor. Ow.
And I think that way is 25 feet.
This has been a protracted argument.
Quality.
So the side curtains are. Can you
can go through the red curtains.
I can go through those.
Yeah, those are just the backstage curtains. You can like, and then you're out. Like that's not going to stop you from going anywhere.
Okay, so that's 25, and then after that, I'm not going to be able to make it.
So the only thing those things do is obscure line of sight.
Yes, and I cannot see. Odette is angry, so she is just run.
Okay.
25 feet for there.
Cool. Yeah, you burst through the back curtains. You see same thing you saw earlier, like multiple Chantels, right? Now just harassing Itzel. You see this large glowing vortex starting to like slowly drag and consume the other actors that are now down on the stage as you look around and kind of clock this whole situation as pretty bad.
God. How many actors? So there's 5.
There are 5.
Great. Odette screams to everybody. She's like, "Save the actors if you can. Get them to the teleportation symbol. It is the only way that we'll be able to get out of here." And she is going to. I'm going to leave her there, and then I'm going to use the protractor Um, 45 feet. So,
I just
um,
lost an actual hit point. I want you
Can't get that back. You don't get it
Psychic
back ever.
damage. Ugh.
I'm just going to teleport right here. So she shadowport. Oh no, I can't.
Oh,
It's
you
sunlight, right?
definitely cannot shadowport right now. This whole area is
Really?
bathed in golden, glorious, warm afternoon sunlight.
And
You did this to you.
Moonbeam.
Yeah.
Yes, I did this to me. Um,
I'm good with you doing it anywhere else in the theater, but this area is way too bright.
it- um, uh, okay, then Odette. No, I did this to myself. Hopefully
Yeah,
I
you're right.
killed.
It's not my fault.
Hopefully I killed a wraith. They're like weak to sunlight, right?
I took damage for sure. I took a lot of damage. It is still up. It's not having a good time.
Okay, then I can get about yeah. I get come on, rodeo. There we go. So about there, and I I just start throwing darts at this woman. But I am so it's so good to be back on the stage that I'm just filled with the rhapsody of it. So I burn rhapsody in order to attack a billion times.
Okay, very cool.
So,
So you're gonna flurry a blow and just throw a bunch of darts.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
if you guys have seen Symphony of the Night and
Mhm.
you use Alucard to like use
Yeah.
all the daggers that you have in the world, that it looks a little bit like that. So we will see if I'm able to actually hit anything though.
Heck yeah, do it.
Neat.
Uh,
That's an 18.
18. Oh, hold on. Let me check my notes. Because she did a thing.
Yes. To
18
hit,
will not hit. That was her original AC. She has done a thing and is higher right now.
she has done a thing. Great.
You think back to like that crazy. You know this for Chantel. She was doing that crazy whirlwind of fighting with you.
Mhm.
She's incredibly good at defending herself when she goes in that type of stance. But it's very hard for her to maintain.
Oh,
Right.
she's so good. She thinks she's so good. Okay.
Something bonus to AC.
Okay, that's a 26. So,
That one definitely hits. That blows
Great.
through whatever AC she's got. Yeah, you
uh,
see the four Chantels like all spin under your first dart, and she just laughs at you, and then the second one just connects.
okay. Do you request like all rolls then damage or roll then damage, roll then damage?
I need you to roll a d20 and let me know what you get.
Roll a d20
because of the multiple images that are up here.
That is a 16.
Okay, let's see.
Just the number or add my bonus?
No, just the number.
Only a 16 then.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to roll it. My apologies. So, I rolled a 16 too. Okay, cool.
Great.
Wow.
No change?
One of the duplicates of Chantel disappears
Fantastic.
as your dart flies through her.
Great. That's a 10. Assuming that does not hit.
Yeah, she sees like the one hit, the second one, you throw that dart at her. I think she catches it and just like uses it to put her hair back.
Oh.
What a sassy bitch.
What a saucy bit. I rolled a 26.
On the last one?
That's the last one.
Yeah,
I
that
rolled
is.
4.
Cool.
So just like a flurry of just darts. Because she's taking them out of her hair and tossing them.
Yeah.
And when Odette...
Ooh.
Yeah?
That one I think hits her. That hits her.
that hits her. Great.
Yeah.
I will roll for damage. Oh, gosh. Kill me. 7
she
points.
like flips her hair back and just like puts the little dart in there and just goes to say something sassy to you. She's like, I'm not here to upstage you, and then just takes the dart straight to the face.
Yes. Odette, like, kind of like clenches her fist, and she's just like, "You stole that move from me," and like starts looking for more things to throw, and she yells again. She's like, get the actors into the portal. And she was like, I will take care of her. So
You're having flashbacks to the night that all that shit went down originally with Jimmy and
yes,
Kozan, because you were on stage as an attack occurred,
yes,
and this is like 100% getting to the point where it's almost deja vu.
yeah. It was on a different stage. It was in the Ghost Wing, the abandoned wing. We fought
Correct.
amongst snow and moonlight.
Oh yeah,
Awful.
which
And
is a good, what a good
yeah,
visual. What was the damage on the dart, by the way?
yes, 7 points of piercing. I believe I'm magical when I toss a thing.
I don't.
Double check that.
Yeah, double check that, please.
I'll double check that for you.
I'll give it full for now, but just double check that. Cool. Okay. She takes that dart.
Oh wait, no, she takes 3 extra because I hexed her.
Oh yeah.
Hexblade.
Ooh.
Delightful.
I looked at Chris Irish because Chris, you were very good at reminding. Are you sure you don't do enough? I was like, yes, no, okay. So 3 extra damage to that, please.
She doesn't like that at all. Hmm.
Okay. You can make a on your turn.
I think
That's
the
a wrong
hexblade
one.
curse just stays.
Yes, I will get back to you. I might actually have to pull out a player's handbook for that. Sorry about that.
No worries. It's all, like I said, I'll give you full credit for the hit. Just let me know.
Okay.
Next up should be Valen. Chantal's going to move. And she looks at Itzel. Gives you the, like, biggest dismissal you could think of. Like, just decides it's not worth the time. I'll take my real fight, thank you. And moves over towards Odette. With those insane glowing kunai daggers that she has. Right. Yeah, that just everyone. I'm sorry. I hope Itzel gets a chance to like just ignite her on fire.
Does she get an? Oh, she doesn't get an attack of opportunity. Does she?
She was not. They were not in melee range.
Yeah.
So,
So,
I did not do full damage. I am sorry to say.
okay, it is magical.
Only my hands and things attached to me. So,
Got it.
phalanges.
Okay. Appreciate the honesty. All right. And she has disadvantage on these attacks, which
Yes.
Oh, good. Worked out for you really well. And you're at a 19. That will still hit. All right. Well, you dodged the crit, which is important.
Ooh.
So that's really cool. She slashes at you with these crazy knives, like in a just whirlwind of blades and black dress and fury, crosses the stage in like 3 very bold strides. And the first one just goes directly for your face, right? Ugh. Not the neck, not the heart, like specifically I want to fuck your face up kind of slash. And you manage to like kind of phase out and the dagger goes through rather than actually connecting. And she whirls, attempts to trip you. You kind of stagger a bit, keep your feet up, but then she slams one of her other knives into your leg.
Great. Can I use
Absolutely
a spell to deflect that shield?
You can use shield. So that's +5, right? It brings you to
I believe so.
24. Oh man! All right, cool. Yeah, she goes to stab this dagger or this kunai into your leg. And what does your shield look like when it pops?
She just is like a blur of motion because of the displacement. So when she is about to connect, Odette just kind of like phases to the left, fades to the right, and then like this shadow just kind of like comes up and like wraps around the actual kunai and tries to kind of like force it away, and she pulls it away. So
excellent. Yeah, she like whips her hand back real quick and just shoots you an exasperated look.
Odette blows her a kiss.
Very cool. All right, that's one of her things done. Cool, Valen, you're up.
Does it blow the kiss and then end up kind of morphing into no?
Oh yeah, sure, yeah. So she goes. How about that? She goes like that. So she gives her one of these, and it turns into a kiss blow.
Well done. Well done.
So, Valen has a plan.
Cool.
Because
I like
Valen...
plans.
Sounds dangerous.
Oh, yes. Probably for me. I have one very specific role in this group, which is keep you guys alive. This is in my mind.
Tank gonna do what tank gonna do.
I'm surrounded by wraiths, and there's sunlight over there. Like, I can put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah, you can see it like through the curtain, the little red curtain.
But Bella, I know, is on the back foot and going last. I need to get her over there. And Becca is lying on the floor back here.
Damn it, Becca.
So, and you can tell me how you feel about this, what I would like to do is use a bonus action to hit my Peerless Athlete, which raises my carry up to 550 pounds.
That's a lot of weight.
I would like to use half of my movement to pick up Bella, walk over to Becca, and use an action to pick her up, get over here, and I'm totally aware I'm going to get 3 attacks of opportunity out of this, and then chuck Becca into the portal and put Bella down.
Cool. Now, just for clarity's sake, the giant purple portal on stage
is not the one you want to chuck me into.
Yeah.
The
Oh
glowing
no,
one-
you're right. That one's way down there. No, never mind.
That said, check this out.
I'm chucking Becca. I'm putting
There you
Bella
go.
down.
No. So
Bella,
if you're
Becca.
if you're able to Peerless Athlete, right, for 550 pounds, I will let you make an athletics check to throw Becca into the teleportation circle.
Perfect.
Assuming you are still standing after the raised attack.
Fail.
But yeah, like I'm gonna do it. Let's do it. Okay, so bonus action, you pop off Peerless Athlete as a
Just
as
a
an
good,
action.
a good scream into the wraiths' faces. Yeah,
You still have a reaction. Don't forget that.
I do.
Yeah, Valen, all 4 foot, like what, 6 of them, just like shoulders you and picks you up.
She has to be a willing target. I'm not making a grapple check here, but
So that was the question. Do you want to go? As he just like, it's like, come on, let's go, and like goes and pick you up. And
Bella, we are leaving.
And like just like fireman carry over like one shoulder. I feel like it's to the point where it's like her feet are almost like dragging on the ground still as you're carrying her.
I'll just prop you up on the shoulder so you can still like you can do your
You're
You're
gonna
a
bend your
turret
legs in
now.
the back so your feet come off the ground.
If it wasn't for the fact that like turn order is such a thing, I feel like as you're running, Bella's like making like attacks at the rates, but it doesn't work like that, and that makes me sad.
You can
Exactly.
visual
Yeah.
though.
So yeah, moving
Right,
over,
yeah.
grabbing Becca. Now throw those attacks at me.
Mm. Mm.
Wild. All right, I'm into it.
Let me
AC
let me just move Bella with you there.
AC 21. All right.
Just a little.
Man. And you can't get critted, correct?
I cannot get critted.
Okay.
The armor keeps me
Fantastic.
safe.
Fantastic. You are hit by one of them. As 2 of them, they all just
Slightly
barrel in
stumble.
and, like, yeah, there's no like coordination here. They're not tacticians. They're undead ghosts, right?
They did not see this coming because who would see that coming?
Oh,
No.
wait a second. Where's it going?
Yeah, like what the hell? He just leave. Can he do that? Is that legal?
We're in the fight here, man.
Right? So they all just kind of like lunge at you, and there's just a confusion of like ghostly spectral limbs that attempt to grab onto you, and one does go like straight for your heart, but is unable to actually grab your heart itself because of
good.
the movements.
I'm attached to that.
Yeah, but one does hit.
Okay.
God, that's For the record, the other rolls were a 3 and a 5.
Nice.
Oof.
It's brutal. But good move all around. Let's see. I have to do math now.
Creative use of character mechanics.
Yeah.
Anybody else imagining Luisa from Encanto with the donkeys with this? No?
A little bit.
Yes,
Yeah.
except half the height. Yeah.
This is 19 necrotic damage that you
Oof.
take as this spectral arm just leeches life out of you, and you feel like you're still, even with Peerless Athlete, there's a moment where you're like, your knees kind of buckle, and you're like, oh shit, and then like you get your feet back under you and you keep moving. But you felt like you just ran a marathon after that hit, and you just want to sit down and take a nap.
Nice. You said 19?
Yes, and that does bring your max hit points down.
It brings my max hit points down. Oof. All right. Down to
Wraiths are-
44.
Wraiths are terrible. Wraiths are absolutely terrible. But that's a great move because now you have Becca over here with you. Jeez, give me a...
Now I'm going to truck down as far as I can and put Bella down and just yeet Becca into the portal.
Jeez. It's going to be, DC. You have an advantage right now on athletics.
I do.
Yeah, let's go with DC
And it
15.
doubles it doubles my carry and doubles my throw. So
Heck yeah.
And dude, oh, that's crazy.
I'll say this. DC 15 athletics save. If you hit above a 20, I'm not going to roll any damage for hit.
oh, good.
Right.
For the fact that you're yeeting someone 30 feet.
Yeah.
She's unconscious. She's not even going to notice.
It's underhand. He's underhanding.
It's a
You
soft
don't take
yeet.
damage from
Soft
underhand.
yeet.
Soft yeet.
That's pretty good. What is my...
Ridiculous.
Ooh, it's a 19.
Oh.
Sorry, Becca!
There's like an
You'll be
awkward,
fine.
like,
God, the sound that
flop
she's gonna
roll.
make. Yep.
But she's in, right? Cool. Takes 4 falling damage from being kind of thrown off the stage.
Yep.
I'm here
which-
to save you. Stop resisting.
but you see she's in the teleportation circle.
I can still
is
see
good.
her. She hasn't teleported?
No, not at this point.
Oh, so
So-
we all have to get in there before it activates. Okay. I was hoping it was just active.
Everyone can
You
roll
yeeted her onto like a stone floor. Is that what I'm understanding?
Look,
It's a stage. It's a wood
Wait.
floor.
of
Uh,
all possible
Not be
options.
stones. That would not be great for acoustics, I believe.
I'm just picturing this cinematic scene where Valen's like, I got this!
Yeah, you definitely hear a rib crunch as she then like log rolls into it. Yep,
Oh.
that's
Wasn't that the circle? Wasn't that supposed to be the circle? I thought that
Why
was
is
the
she still
circle.
here?
Can I?
I will say that her situation has dramatically improved. It's just not the way I saw this going. But yeah.
Well, wait a second.
Awesome.
And then, I mean, you just picked her up and carried her, so you know that she is, she's alive and was like in and out of consciousness. So when she hit, she's probably a little more hurt. But honestly, like if you get her out of here, she should be fine.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, I remember when I laid on hands, what's his name, for 10, he got up and ran out of here. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. Let's see.
Wait.
That was action, bonus action, move. What else you got?
I'm
You have
pretty
anything
sure
else?
that I mean, if you're going to let me do something else, I will, but I'm pretty sure that's an entire turn.
I just gave guidance to Valen. I didn't know how to do it, so it took me a while.
Oh, you give guys to Valen? Okay, got it. Heck
For my throw check?
Please, yeah.
Please don't kill her coworkers.
Do I have a D4? Oh, I'll use the dice roller.
I mean, you're good. I'll at least get you the one, right?
22!
Yeah,
You saved your coworker.
So,
you see that the practical safety features of the theater kick in, right?
The airbag in the floor.
As someone falls off the stage, you want to make sure people don't get hurt in rehearsals and stage combat and stuff like that. So someone falls off the stage, she like flies down at normal speed, and like the last 6 inches just like decelerates and stops. And you see Odette, that only works once before I see it recharge, because usually there's a break where someone goes back and like recalibrates the safety. But hey, Becca's fine.
Brilliant. Perfect.
Heck
Love it.
yeah. All right, good turn. Jeez, Itzel, you're up.
Okay. So
Actually, do I want to? Nope, I don't have more points. Okay.
so we had the moonbeam over here on Wraith 3.
Yeah.
All right, and you said that it's extant, but it's
If I had to give you an idea, if you'd like to roll, it's hurt. It's definitely taking a shitload of damage. If you'd like to roll religion, they'll tell you a much closer ballpark.
sure. 16.
This thing has single-digit hit points
Yeah. Okay.
remaining. It has taken an absolute beating.
Okay. Here's the thing, though. So, if I can move the moonbeam, original plan was to put it over there with the other wraiths that were on like Valen and Bella, but you guys don't need that right now, necessarily. I don't. I'm a little bit worried about putting it on Chantel because that light isn't gonna help Odette.
You don't know that. I mean, it's a solid 10 foot by 10 foot, right? That might blast all of her images away.
That's possible.
It's a it's a it's a 5 foot radius, so yeah, like 10 feet
That's
across,
like 5.
and then
yeah,
40
5
foot
foot,
cylinder.
Yeah.
Just have to steer carefully.
Okay. Well, until those other wraiths get moving, then let's put Moonbeam on slightly to the left of poor Xenros there. So like because my 5 foot is okay. In fact, you can't see where I'm pointing. So like right between like if we put the actual center of this circle right between like Chantel and her two images.
I'm going to get you a thing. Give me a second.
Yeah.
That'll work.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah. There. No, I can't move it. Can I move it? Hold on. There.
There.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that way. Oh, hold on.
Is that going to hit Xanros on the floor there?
Yes.
Sorry. It's gotta be close.
Nothing to be done.
I'm sure he'll be fine.
No, we're gonna put it here. So it's also kind of on the edge of that like shadow portal thing. So if it can do some like damage to that, that'd be great. But now it's not gonna touch Odette.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Xanros is in the
Moonbeam only hurts bad people. That's part of the spell.
That's true.
Yeah.
that sounds right.
And shape
definitely
changers.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moonbeam only hurts bad people. Xanros bursts into flames.
It
Oh god!
definitely doesn't say-
Xanros!
It definitely
It does.
doesn't say that it causes ghostly flames that create searing pain. Like that's not in the flavor text at all.
I don't think so.
I'm literally looking at that right now.
Yep.
Okay,
So-
Constitution saving throw. Got it. I'll do Chantel. What is the DC? Like 16, 17 for you, probably?
Yes. I want to say it's 17. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, 17.
Okay. Interesting thing. The duplicates do not go away. But Chantel fails.
Good.
I'm going to roll for Xanros
Bitch.
as well.
Yeah. He's hardy.
He does not. He also fails. Oh boy.
It's just a little searing light.
Okay. I need you to.
You're fine. You're fine. Don't tell Mom. You're fine.
This is
I'm
very
right
important.
here.
Mhm.
Itzel, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to roll. This is round 3. Technically, we're going into round 4. You should roll 3 luck checks effectively, right? So just roll 3 d20s and let me know what you get. No modifier.
Just picturing Valen like taking an entire turn trying to
Yeah,
save
just
Becca,
fucking
and then
grip
looks
it,
over
rip it,
and
baby.
bursts into
Slap
flames.
that down, dude.
Do you want
Yeah,
the sum or
dude,
do you want
crack
each
one
of
for the
individual
big
scores?
boy.
I apologize. The back rows were screaming into my ears because we just got another donation. So thank you.
Yay.
I heard nothing else that was said though.
Sorry.
So-
Would you like the sum or would you like the individual rolls?
Oh, each one, please.
Okay, 17,
Okay.
13, and 11.
Oh wow, really?
Yep. It's on
Cool.
out there. You can see.
So I had you roll 3 death saving throws for Xandros, and he succeeded in all 3 of them, which meant that he was stable and conscious when the
He's
spell
fine.
went off.
He's
No,
fine.
when the spell goes off.
Fearing pain. He's fine.
Because I wasn't sure if he'd be like 2 death save throws down, and maybe this would be what ended him. So like he, you move this moonbeam. He kind of like weakly looks up for a second, sees the portal, and like sees Chantal and sees Odette, and he just goes, "Odette, I knew you'd never let any harm come to us." This moonbeam strikes him. Go ahead and roll damage, please.
Great. Sorry.
How's
And he
Xandros
is-
doing in the play? What is his acting like?
Xandros
Is he
is
a
pretty
lead?
good.
Is he a lead role?
19,
He is an understudy male lead. He's very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
19 damage.
19 damage. Jeez.
Oh, no.
I need to check something real quick. I need to check off the top of my head what HP is for, because these aren't people with levels. Oh, jeez.
What's the damage overflow on a peasant?
Oh, jeez. Oh, man. Actually, you know what? I have the monster manual.
I mean, the maximum damage it could have done was 20, so it's...
Oh yeah, you knocked off a point. You're very magnanimous.
Well, I'm really pissed off at
Oh, man, this is bad. Okay. I need you. I'm going to be. Do me a favor, roll 2d8.
Okay.
Are you rolling his hit points?
Yeah. It's a second level commoner, so.
Let's create a character.
Let's
Yeah.
create
I mean, the problem is
guys. Let's start
2d8
creating a
could
character.
not possibly be 19 anyway.
No, but.
Unless he is a very good constitution, like most dancers do.
Sure.
Yeah, yes.
So
Plus
I
2.
rolled an 11.
Okay, so that makes it 15.
So how much
Uh,
overkill? Yeah.
Gets up at 1 hit point, which is 16. Immediately takes 19, which is still negative his hit points. Shit.
I mean, okay, so I made my action by moving the moonbeam, but I can move, and we could say, I mean, if Becca can be yeeted, yaunt, whatever the past, like,
Yote.
past
Jotun.
could we not say, like, get a nice little, like, side kick shoved to him?
Now kick the body.
Roll him
Are you?
gently, like a log.
I will say this: if you want to, because we are really deep into this now, so if
It
you
is
want
of
to,
vital importance for us to figure out how dead Xandros is right now.
I did not think just that much damage would occur to someone who was just down, but damn. If you would like to burn one of the advantage points, I will re-roll his saving throw. He has a +2 to con.
Would that bring him back to not dead?
He will only take half the damage.
So he would.
Okay, which would mean not dead. Which would mean, like,
He would
yeah,
be
because
not
he has
dead. He would
11
be
And
hit
on his
points.
16. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, like he'd be, or not 11. Yeah. Okay.
that is an option.
Then yes. Then yes. Let us do that.
Okay. Do you want me to roll? Or do you want to roll?
I'll roll. It's my
Okay.
fault. I did it.
Cool.
I got
It's DC 17, right?
So I'm just a d20.
Yeah, +2. He's got +2 con.
Is that an 8?
Well, it's
I was
a
gonna
10.
give you guidance, but
I was gonna say it's +2, so it's a 10.
Wait, so it's a reroll or is this advantage? Does she get to roll twice or only once?
Yeah, that was it. That was at advantage, but that was the second roll. Fuck. Yeah, he doesn't make it. He's toast.
Wait, I have an
Sorry.
argument. I have an argument. Can you interact with a dead body as an action, I interact with an item, like
That's
as a
part of your
as a-
movement.
Yeah.
That will be part of your turn unless you have a specific reaction that lets you
Oh,
do
okay.
something.
Could she just kind of do that little
That's
kick
what I'm
as an
saying,
interact
like,
with an
yes,
action?
I
Interact
already
with
did
an object?
my action, so like as bonus action to because he's an object, not a thing.
Oh,
He is now.
Now, I will say that since we are so far down this path, and since so many decisions have already been made, I think we're locked in here, right? Well, he's fine.
You've got your scroll of resurrection on you still.
Yeah,
Almost.
you've got a full minute to bring him back, but he is just bathed
Like
in
10
moonbeam
rounds.
that causes what's the description again?
Searing
Ghostly
pain.
flames that cause searing pain.
Searing pain.
And
Yes.
both he and Odette scream as this attack hits them. Xandros stops screaming. Odette
Start screaming? Yes.
Continues screaming.
We trade screams. He stops.
Yes.
I start.
and oof, damn. Yeah. She's not happy about that one. That one really hurt.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm gonna get a little bit closer to Wraith 3 then, if we're not gonna roll Xandros like a log. So yes. So that if it leaves me, I will get to attack it.
Oh, the portal moved.
Oh, that was me. Sorry.
Why?
Poor Xandros.
Also,
he didn't make it.
heads up, I can interact with it too, so I don't know if that's a feature.
Woof. All right, so wild turn. Between character turns, it resets.
I was very confused. I thought we were saving the actors.
Well, you guys moved. My original plan was to hit the 3 wraiths on you guys, and then we wouldn't even Xandros was also still in the life-sucking portal, so he could have been hurt anyway.
I actually did mean to.
Oh my god! Whoa, whoa.
Yeah, because Daffy didn't make it either. All right.
Oh no.
Yeah, she's the one that turned into a wraith. Okay. Well, not a wraith, a specter. Wolf. Yeah. Xandros stops screaming, stops moving.
I
She took out the specter. Did that
Therefore,
not
no
bring her
one
back
should
to life?
criticize me. Okay.
It did not, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But still have time. Chantel just looks at Xandros and just kicks him.
No.
She goes, it's useless anyway.
Yeah, well, I hope that hurt, asshole.
She looks over at you, Itzel, and just says, thanks for saving me the time of having to kill him. I'm still going to kill you, but that was a cool assist. And then just turns and stabs at Odette some more.
Itzel will flip and claw this woman's eyes out before going through that portal. Just saying. Now. So, yes. Even if I have to monkey it a la Wendy, it's just gonna, yeah.
Gonna take 2 attacks on Odette. Again, both at disadvantage. Wow, both fail. Oh wait, sorry, that was 1 attack at disadvantage. AC is 19.
Yes.
Use shield, correct? That resets on your turn. Right?
Yes, it does. I think so.
No, it goes for a full cycle. So, again, she's so damn fast. Gets almost behind you by distracting you with the illusions of her. It's hard to track which one is actually her. And you kind of take a swing at one of them, and it just turns out to be illusionary. And you're like, oh shit! And you sense her behind you as she's kind of ducked around. and goes to just drive this dagger into the back of your neck. Like no finesse or framework here, just a two-handed like stab. And your shield and cloak at the last minute like kind of come together, and there's just a spark of almost black and purple energy that just flies off this attack. And you feel the impact of it, but it does not pierce into you. That shield working out really well for you. And it's going to take second action. And it's going to cast a spell on Itzel. It's kind of like does this attack, kind of shoves Odette. You stagger like 2 feet, and she looks over at Itzel as you're making eye contact, and she goes, make sure I understand how this spell works before I do the thing, because this is what I think I know and what I actually know.
Do I still have? Yeah, I do.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, she looks over, makes eye contact with you, and just goes, I like what we have going here. Let's keep it up. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Okay.
As DC 17. Sorry, 18. DC 18.
Of course it is. Great. Okay. 1 second. Mm-hmm. 11.
11?
I still have a shield charge for a reaction. Just saying.
Fair. Chantel waves her hand, and through like the just her hair is all disheveled now. Her dress has just fire and burn marks all over her, right? Just covered in stab wounds. And is like acting haughty, but has taken an absolute just beat down.
Looking dusty, bitch. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you're not going to need those eyes in a second. And a jagged crown of black, almost looking metal, like visceral metal spikes, just slams down onto your head, like into your skull, covering your eyes. And you hear it just say, "It's time to let the blood run. We'll free your friends of this burden of life."
Crown of Madness.
Crown of Madness. Yep. As she casts that.
It's time to put on makeup.
Let's see. Action.
Please do not ruin the Muppet Show for me right now.
Look at the setting. You can't.
Action. Have not moved. Have not bonus action yet. There's a spell. I can't do the other thing. So I'm going to.
But his shield isn't going to do goddamn anything because it's charm. It's not.
Unfortunately, not.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Sorry, guys. Also, joke's on you, Chantel. I hurt Senros without having Crown of Madness on. So,
That's why we're getting along really well. I didn't realize that you'd probably be the best one to just turn on your own party. Yeah, I get it. And then she runs this way. And I'm going to check something because you may get an attack of opportunity based on the wording.
What?
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not screwing you out of the.
It would only be me who would not be able to get an attack of opportunity. Valen and Bella.
That is correct. Okay. Yeah, because it's only the creature that she's engaged with. Dope.
See, I see which one's real.
One that says Chantel in it. She's going to. Yeah, she has enough move. Okay, she's going to run around, and we'll kind of skirt this piece. She can't dodge both of you, but she can get around Valen at least. So Bella, you can take a swing at her.
That bitch.
Ooh.
She sees that sword and wants nothing to do with it. She's not dumb.
Yeah, sure. I can I can attack. That is totally a thing that Bella can do.
What'd you roll?
Alright.
I mean,
I
just saying, like, if you
rolled
cut
an
the tendons at her ankle, that would be
18.
great. Yeah.
A what?
An 18.
Oh shit, that'll
But
hit.
if it's a physical attack, do I have to take strength into it?
Or dex, depending on what you're attacking with.
It's a rapier.
Dex.
Dex, yeah, definitely.
Sweet. Then that makes it a 20.
Cool. Yeah, she didn't do some. She did a bunch of other stuff this turn and did not boost her AC, so you hit.
Cool. Now I have to actually figure out what damage a rapier does. One moment.
D8 plus
please.
dexterity modifier for damage.
Okay, cool.
Wow. She's not actually not. Okay.
So that is going to be a 7. However, she's still hexed from when I hexed her a while ago.
This still has. This will I think count. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I hit her with an attack, so I do an extra 1d6 of necrotic.
Roll
So
it.
I did 7 in my rapier.
Is that including your dexterity bonus for damage?
No, the 1d6 is just. Oh, the 7 is including my dexterity bonus.
Check. Okay.
And then the hex does 3 necrotic.
She runs by you. Like you can see the
Bella
calculation.
fumbles her rapier up and basically just barely gets it up in time, and it just drags across her as
Fumble,
she's
you had a 20.
Yeah,
this was some finesse and yeah.
She doesn't rapier though.
No, she definitely shit talks you as she's running towards you. You see the decision point of no, I'm gonna run past Bella and not Valen because fuck that. And she's like, oh, what are you gonna do with that? Go shit! and just keeps running and then kind of knocks the rapier away, just with her hand, and is nope, and just runs behind the curtain. And then there's the last thing on. So she's done. You hear her yell at the wraiths.
What are you gonna do? Stab me?
Yeah.
Oh, does she lose an image?
Oh, you know what? That's a good
You
point.
didn't roll for the mirror image.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. I should never mind.
No, that is a very good point.
Removing a mirror image would be more important than that 4 damage.
Hey, I did a total of 10 whole damage.
It's real good.
I need to roll an 8 or higher.
Which is not bad for a reaction from Bella, considering.
Yeah.
Quite good, actually.
Okay, she doesn't take the damage. But...
You took out a duplicate.
Yeah. Cool.
Down to a 50-50.
I'd like to think all of her duplicates die dramatically because she's bad at that.
I love the fact that she's running past and she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do with that?" And Bella just jams the rapier straight through this one duplicate's chest, and it just clutches the sword and does it, and just does a very dramatic stage death.
It's not very good.
To be
She was
released.
never death scenes.
Very overacted.
From these mortal binds.
It's Paul Rubin and Buffy.
It's just the death. It hurts, and that is bad. Tell Jonathan I love him. And then the image
Jonathan?
The image just disappears. Cool. Good turn. Mm-hmm. No damage, unfortunately, but one less image. Welcome back. Cool. That's her turn. She yells at the wraiths, "Hey, protect me!" The wraiths. I gotta move.
No.
Is that bitch trying to run?
Yeah. You are absolutely kicking the shit out of her. She's not having a good time.
Okay.
Good.
Now, she's pretty strong. Let me be clear. You have done an absolute number on her. I need to make some intelligence checks with these wraiths. I want to know if they're going to go out into the sunlight.
A willpower check.
Okay. They've got will +2. Let's see how high their sense of self-preservation is. Shockingly high. Wraith 2 is going to come out and fight. Wraith 4 and 5 stay back behind the curtains. So Wraith 2, make sure I had the move for this. Pretty sure I knew. Yeah. Runs out into the sunlight, starts immediately burning and shrieking. Takes a lot of damage from that. Is it 9, 10? Takes 12 points of damage. And we'll attack Bella, because Bella just attempted to stab Chantel. What's your cool undead thing? Is it 16 that they have to beat to target you?
Oh,
I believe that's will.
wisdom saving throw, DC 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, this disadvantage. It's burning the sunlight. Okay. Does not attack you, so will attack Valen. Like, raises a hand, and, like, I think you just step off to the side. Even more sun just, like, burns into this thing, and it's like, ah! And just, like, turns and slashes at Valen real quick. Is not able to get an attack in there. Wraith 3 is also going to take some damage. Oh, jeez. Rolling really well to damage my own dudes.
Good.
Ooh. Wraith 3 turns to run and attempts to just fly through this back wall, through something. Gets about 5 feet, and everything that is still holding it together just falls apart, and just it disappears into a wisp of black smoke as the sunlight does its number on him. Cool. Wraiths 4 and 5 are gonna stand by, do some stuff.
Does that mean
Bella.
it's my turn?
You're up.
Cool.
Yeah, so this is Wraith in front of you that was trying to kill you. Because, let's be honest, you stabbed at their boss, and that wasn't cool. And just is having the absolute worst time of its life right now, or on life, because of the sun. It's regretting this decision to follow orders and come out here.
Cool.
Pretty smart. That one rolled a 1, so...
Yeah. I'm gonna do it a favor, and I am going to use my Binding Ice Code spell. Yeah, I actually bothered to, bring my sorcerer levels up to the correct speed, so I got shiny new spells that
Nice.
I totally had this whole time, guys.
See,
You've been
here's the
holding
thing.
back. You don't want to unleash all of your power. You know.
Yeah.
I'm having a
Exactly.
flashback to...
About an hour ago, when you suggested this spell and said you were gonna hate it when I finally used it.
Yeah, that one.
Oh,
It's like, oh, damn, this is a crazy spell. Who would write this shit?
I'll take this one.
Man.
Which spell is it?
It is called Rhymes Binding Ice. A burst of cold energy emanates from you in a 30-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes
Fuck.
3d8 cold damage and is hindered by ice formations for 1 minute, or until it or another creature within reach of it uses an action to break away the ice. A creature hindered by ice has its speed reduced to 0 on a successful save. A creature takes half as much damage and isn't hindered by ice.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a
Not just
crazy
damage.
spell.
Hoping, but still, yeah.
Which
And of course, I'm going to be directing it vaguely in the direction the Wraith 2 came from, aka I'm pretty sure that will also hit Wraiths 4 and 5 and Chantel.
it will. It
Yeah,
absolutely
so
will.
It's gonna ruin those curtains. My actor curtain.
Spider still.
Do it. Make her pay.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
that's a Constitution saving throw, right? What's DC on that?
Constitution saving throw. How do I calculate that?
What's
Oh,
your spell
geez.
DC?
Proficiency 8 plus proficiency bonus.
Plus your
Plus
skill.
your charisma modifier.
As is on your sheet,
Oh,
it's
it should
also
be
Yeah.
the
Your character
same
sheet.
save as your any of your other DCs for any of your other spells, I believe.
It should be because warlock and sorcerer both charisma.
It should be charisma
So-
plus 3 plus 8. So charisma plus 11.
What's your charisma?
Oh, well, now it's 4.
So 15.
Yeah, so 15.
Got it.
So the same thing
Alright.
as we just established for the wisdom saving throw.
Very
that
nice.
we had to do.
Dope.
So 15.
Okay.
DC 15
Ooh.
Constitution. And I'm
Alright.
just going to go ahead and roll damage because they take half damage if they win. So
Yep. All right. Wraith 2 fails. Wraith 4 definitely fails. Wraith 5 passes.
Mhm.
Chantel. Ooh, Chantel passes.
Can we use one of those points for the server to give the boss disadvantage?
No.
Actually, I
God,
have
no, please, no.
I have a question. Do you have a bonus action, Bella?
I don't have a bonus action I think I can use in
Okay.
this context.
I wasn't sure if you could use sorcery points to like buff that. I don't know.
No, just because
No.
that's not the meta magic that she has.
Yeah.
Boo.
But
Yeah,
oh man, let's resolve this first, and I'm going to say a thing that I'm going to regret. So you cast this insane spell. What is the damage?
15.
Okay. So bring that half down to 7. Okay.
You round up when having, I think.
Pretty sure 5th ed rounds down for everything.
Usually round down.
Yeah.
Rude.
But okay, so Wraith 2 takes the full blast for 15 and is frozen to the floor. Damn, good move there. Wraith 4 also takes the full blast and looks incredibly injured. Let me sure there's no. Okay. Do me a favor, make an Arcana check, Bella.
Yep. Okay.
Here's what I'm asking for, right? Because I made a slight mistake, and I can either redo the work or have you make a check. They have resistance to cold, right? But on a DC 20 Arcana check, I'm just not going to go back and fix that.
16.
Okay. Yep. However, Wraith 5 does die.
Oh, that's nice.
Which is pretty cool. But Wraith 4 is mobilized. All right. Wraith 2 is mobilized. And Chantel is very badly hurt. Just explosion of icy cold. We describe this as like dark cold. Like, how does this like cone of frost and death look as Bella just unleashes?
It's almost like it draws the cold from around her in the room and like concentrates it in like this one cone.
Okay.
And just sort of almost like that icy, like almost like the breath you can see on like a cold day just like winds through it and sort of wraps tendrils around the creatures as it like blasts past them. And for any that immobilize, it's almost as if like icy claws form up around their feet, gripping them.
Oh, dope.
Or whatever, whatever.
Whatever. That looks cool. Yeah.
Whatever's connecting them to the ground.
No, that's cool as hell. I'm going to ask you to make a luck roll. 11 or higher is good for you. That's all you need.
And I got an 18.
Cool. The curtains freeze and shatter, giving you line of sight to Chantel.
Oh, yeah.
The thing I was going to regret saying earlier is you can quicken spell Eldritch Blast.
But that would use...
sorcery points.
Yeah, and I only have 3.
Do you can take that option.
Yes, you do only have 3, but she's about to get away. Like,
All right.
Your call.
yes, only 3. Agreed. Yeah, but yeah.
So yeah, Wraith 2 frozen to the floor. Wraith 4 frozen to the floor.
She
Chantel kind of whirls, and you see for a second that the like icy tendrils that come up and try to grab her. She manages to like spin and kind of like run up the wall almost, and come back down on her feet, but it's still just covered in this like these cold shards you can see piercing into her skin, and just like lets out a shiver as that takes effect.
Cool.
Your move, bonus action, if you'd like to take.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and make Eldritch Blast a bonus action this round.
Cool. Burn 2 sorcery points for quicken.
Yeah.
And fire away.
I agree with the chat that we have to call that your snow cone now.
Snow cone. That's very good. Heck yeah.
It's slightly coconut flavored.
Oof.
Her AC is 18 still. So
Yeah.
you could,
Unfortunately.
the amount of damage you do with Eldritch Blast, there's a strong possibility.
I only rolled a 13.
Use
to-
one of the
to
advantages.
attack.
You have 2 beams with Eldritch Blast. So
Use
you
one of
get
the
a second
channel
attack.
advantages. We have 6.
Are we cool with that?
I'm not, but I don't get a say.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I get to.
Use channel advantage. Re-roll. Watch me a net.
Cool, because that's going to bring it up to a 24.
That'll definitely hit. Okay, first one hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
All right. You would think I would remember how much damage I do. Okay.
The D10 plus 4 and a D6 because she's hexed.
Oh yeah, she is still hexed. Did you
Yeah.
add that for the ice?
For the
Does that
ice?
count too?
It wouldn't
Uh,
affect her
She
save.
saved, so I don't think it counts as me having successfully attacked her.
I'll check.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll damage.
Yeah.
If she had been frozen, it would give her disadvantage to break free. But up, and the chat gave you guidance for the next attack.
Yeah. All right.
It's only when you hit with an attack. So Eldritch Blast counts as an attack. AoEs do not.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So
So that was sorry. So the first beam ended up being a 9,
okay.
but then I have to roll hex, and that's going to add 4 necrotic damage.
Okay. And a force 13. Okay.
How's she looking?
Fucked up.
But not down.
No, still up.
Then I guess she's getting hit with that second Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, I'm
The
gonna write
other
this
barrel.
number. I'll write this number on a piece of paper because go ahead, roll your thing.
That's going to be a 22 to hit.
That will hit.
All right. Which gives me 10 plus 3 necrotic.
10 plus 3.
So 13 altogether.
Jeez. I want you to make me one more luck roll.
High is good.
Yeah, 11 plus is good.
Did you use your guidance on the attack roll?
I did not, but I don't know.
Add
But
it
I got a
to
12. I got a 12 on my luck roll.
12? Okay, cool. Oh, man.
Can you use guidance on a luck roll?
I was going to say, add a D4. Yeah.
But I don't
on,
need
on the luck roll. No, I would
It's
have been
just
like, hell no, you can't do
50-50.
that. That's I like the way you're thinking. Absolutely not.
That's why I asked, yeah.
No, good call though. Cool. So you just unleash with this whirlwind of power, right? Freezing Wraith 2, freezing Wraith 4. Chantel dodges out of the way just barely, still taking the full damage from that attack. She's no longer making like pithy comments or trying to be cute. She is in full escape mode. She realizes that this has gone badly, and she continues to her attempt to run. You blast these 2 Eldritch Blasts into her, right? She had on your second attack. You can't see it
Cannot
until it
see it.
adjusts. She had 25 hit points.
25!
Right.
Ugh.
So she is still up. And what she does is she, in this just full salvo of magical, of magic, is going to take her, it's going to take a legendary action and flee. But as she is doing that, you see something shiny clang to the floor as she's just being hit multiple times by these different barrages of magic. And she turns and runs, her and her duplicate. Oh, her duplicate. God damn it, that's me.
Oh, for the Eldritch Blast.
As one of the duplicates is destroyed, and she runs out the door into the sun.
That bitch.
Legendary action done. Woof. Wraith 4 takes damage. Because you destroyed that curtain.
Yes, the curtain. My true nemesis.
That destroying that curtain really just did some shit. Wraith 4 is actually might go down.
Also, I love that the captions changed that to the curtain, my true love assist.
Hell yeah. As the sunlight pours in from that shattered curtain, Odette, you're horrified as like this beautiful red velvet curtain that's been hanging in this theater for years now, carefully tended to by Valerie and all the other stage crew, right? Is just frozen and then shatters into pieces. It's not rips and tears, because you could probably sew those up. It just falls like a small avalanche, and you're like, oh shit! And then Wraith 4 is just hit in the face with all this other sunlight coming through the roof of the theater, and just screams and melts away as well.
I think it even like reflects off of the pile of ice and hits him like full face.
Like a magnifying glass just like burns through
yeah.
its skull first,
Yeah.
and then the rest of it just kind of falls
blinded.
apart. Oh, geez, that was good round. Dang,
It was epic.
very good move. Okay, dancers, I'm gonna make some death saving throws for them. Xanos is dead. Yeah. We'll say Becca.
What a
is still...
tragic thing that Chantel did there.
Yeah. Terrible, terrible. Oh, I gotta roll something for her. Oh, do I need to stay in range? Sorry, one bad thing with a lot of magic in a combat. One target that you can see within range. Okay, very cool.
She still have eyes on us? She's standing outside the door?
Oh, she took her full movement, which put her well beyond the map. She's still out there running. Like, you can absolutely try to pursue her. It is an option.
It's true.
Okay, Rowan, the saving throw. Valerie. Aurora. Oh, jeez. Hey, Odette, please roll a luck roll for Aurora, please.
Uh-oh.
Is it 11 or better is what I'm trying to get?
Please.
Well, that's a 1.
Oh, I rolled a 1 as well. Shit.
I am not the only killer. Just say.
Okay. And Odette, you go first. I will give you an action as you see Chantel flees. Right? One of the something shiny and metallic clangs to the ground by the entrance to the door, and she runs off into the city. The wraiths are just melted by the sunlight that Odette led into this theater. Odette, it's about to be your turn. You see Aurora, this portal of energy is starting to shrink back down, but you see her literal life force, almost like a spectral copy of her, being like ripped from her body now in the direction of this portal. Um, Effectively, she's going to die at the end of your turn because what do you want to do to try to stop this?
Uh, if Odette removes her from like the vicinity, does she feel like that would work?
Um, if you move her away, I'll give you advantage on a medicine check to try to stabilize her.
Got it. Odette like screams like no
There's Chantel
several
running.
different times. She like as poor what's his name Xandros Xandros like perishes, and then her friend Itzel gets like weird heavy metal crowns on her. No, and then Chantel escapes. No, and then the curtains. No, and then like, and then Chantel just like escapes. Oh no! So she screams like Chantel's name and starts going after her. She sees like the silvery like clink something like fall, and she like tenses up and starts to get ready to like phase over. Um, and she looks down at Aurora and like sighs heavily and
Just being ripped out of her
grabs
body.
her hand. I you can roll against this. I know I've tried this once before. She is going to. I don't know if I need to strength check or anything like that to drag her, but I'm going to try to. Uh, uh, is there any other kind of shadow in this area?
On the stage and in the not the portal, no, unfortunately.
No,
Just because
not near the portal.
no, you could
No, under the steps, maybe to the left.
if you would like to try to, you can teleport directly into the portal.
Yes, but I can't do that very far if I have somebody with me, as I tried to with as I fell with Yosef.
Yes.
Tried to get him up there.
I'll give you another. It's a lot of luck going on here.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh,
If not, she will just kind of like manhandle like Aurora into
yeah,
the circle.
you have to pull on this one,
Oh,
so
what?
you're gonna have to drag her.
Yeah, it's okay. She grabs Aurora and she's like, "I've got you," and I start to move. I have to use this protractor to get all the way over here. So
This is the real crown of madness.
to get right here, I place her gently down next to Becca.
Thud. Cool.
Gently. Oh my god, the grace
Cool.
of a ballerina. And tries to look over to see if she can like stabilize her.
So you recognize that a lot of this is some crazy magical bullshit. So advantage on the roll. You got to make a DC 15 medicine check or Arcana check to attempt to stabilize her, since this is crazy magic that is killing her.
Okay.
So you have advantage, but she is at 3 death failures at this point. So this is basically a Hail Mary shot.
Um. 16.
Okay, very cool.
I don't get much of a bonus.
You see her spirit start to like leave her body. Is that Arcana or medicine?
That medicine. I'm so sorry.
Okay, what do you do? How do you describe this?
Odette looks her over and looks for any kind of like wound, like darkness wounds or something like that.
And she's like holding onto your hand and like she's like just gasping for breath, like her eyes looking around wildly, and she's like, and then you see her breathing like kind of start to calm down, and she goes, "Well, I knew you'd come back to help, so thanks for trying." And you see her kind of like exhale, and her spirit starts to like. You can literally see her spirit physically leaving her body and like
No.
being pulled towards that portal as your success kicks in, right?
Oh,
And
okay.
you're able to.
Then Odette, this is just for flavor text.
Yeah.
Like tries doing like just compressions, that like all actors are supposed to be taught, and like it does the compressions, feels like that's not doing anything, and just like prays to Elistre, the goddess of like dancing in the moonlight and swords and stuff, and tries to like draw any kind of wounds of darkness that she has off of her in
Yep.
order to like make her better.
Very cool. Yeah. There's a. It scares you at first. There's like a splinter off of the moonbeam, right?
Mhm.
That just like it's this light blue and kind of cold energy, but just
Mhm.
flies off and surrounds Aurora, as her soul kind of like kind of elevates above her body and then falls back into place. She opens her eyes and she's like, "Okay,
I've got you. And she like just like sobs like I've got you and like gives her a hug. So
she like very weakly kind of hugs you back. Cool.
and I say stay here, and
Good save.
she starts fucking striding. I have to look at the protractor again. Um, and then I get oh, he's dead. Who else is dead? I'm sorry. Oh, I don't want to move that. I'm so sorry. I moved your darkness.
I think
Zealous and
Rowan
Daphne
is
dead.
still alive.
Yeah, Rowan's still alive. He's
Oh,
not
and there's
looking great.
Valerie
And yeah, Itzel
underneath
after
Itzel.
yeah after killing Zenros, Itzel has just been like standing on Valerie. No,
All right.
I'm kidding.
So I'm very close to Rowan, and that's it. That's
Cool.
that's all I got.
Very cool. Valen, you're up, right? So you look around. There's obviously this wraith still in front of you. The portal is still swirling with weird magical energy, although it is no longer expanding now. Previously, it was expanding every turn. It has since stopped. You know that some of these people are still alive, but desperately needing medical attention.
All right, I want to sprint after Chantel, but that's it's not in character. I would absolutely need to save more dancers. Now, what is best? I can run over and use Lay on Hands to instantly bring her back from the edge, or I can attack this portal to stop it from suck. Well, I guess she's the only one left. Everybody else has already had their soul sucked out, so I'm not saving anybody.
Give me an Arcana check. I know you're not you're not really a spell guy, but
I'll get right on that.
yeah.
Oh wow, that's a 16. I did.
Best person to deal with the portal is probably Bella or Itzel.
Okay.
You've watched Itzel like dismiss magical effects before. She could probably do it again.
Okay.
She is, however, having a time with that crazy crown that's currently digging into her skull and causing blood to drip down the sides of her face.
Oh, Itzel is still having. All right. Need to do some measurements here. It is my entire movement to get to Itzel. All right. I know how Crown of Madness works. I don't know if Valen knows how Crown of Madness works.
On that 16, I'll give it to you. Like,
I know that Crown of Madness means you have to make an attack against someone before you move. As of right now, she is not a danger.
Unless Valerie is in danger.
she could kill Valerie.
Well, shit.
But yeah, you've seen this like kind of madness before on the battlefield. It's a real underhanded trick because they'll usually cast it on somebody who's giving commands and then have a commander just like stab through their people or vice versa. As a
You're
way
right.
to just...
I gotta say, Valerie. All right. I'm going to run over to Itzel. I am going to... as part of my movement action, can I just move Valerie out the way?
Move, bitch. Get out the way.
Or just at least put myself between her and Itzel.
Are we gonna eat her again?
Right?
I'm trying not to do that as my action, but
yeah, we'll call it as part of the move. DC 15 athletics to try to like.
Okay, I still have my
push her back.
Fearless athlete on.
Yeah.
And that is double nines. My athletics is 7, so it's 16.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's a bit of a struggle because of the portal and the stage and all the damage that's occurred, but you managed to like push Valerie back a little bit, and you are now the main aggro target for Itzel if she attacks.
All right.
Mm.
With my action, I'm going to cast Protection from Good and Evil on Itzel, which gives her advantage to break the 3 of the charm.
Dope.
Yep.
Very good spell.
Also, Chantel must use her action to activate it.
Correct.
Oh, I guess she's running, so it doesn't matter. So,
So.
Chantel.
Chantel.
I mean,
Some
like,
bullshit.
she also has to concentrate on it, and
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Oh,
did she have to roll for concentration when she got hit by all of that shit?
I did roll for it.
Just checking.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fine. I'll take your word for
Yes.
it.
So here's why it matters, right? Because that's one of those things where I was like, oh shit, I need to roll for this and blah blah blah. So Valen, your turn's over. Itzel. So normally the effects of this spell would let you either make another saving throw at the end of your turn, or they would go away at the end of your turn if they were for some reason dismissed.
Yeah.
The reason I haven't just dropped it immediately is because Chantel rolled a nat 20 on her concentration check as she was running. So she cannot command you anymore, right? But the question then becomes, do you just stay staggered for a round while this falls off of you or not? So go ahead and please make a wisdom saving throw. With advantage. Yep. DC 18.
All right.
Somebody threw
well, the
guidance.
first one's a nat 20, so
Oh, well,
Yay!
Cool.
I mean, like, I know it's not like physical crown, but like, I feel
Rip
like
that
this
shit off.
is like pulling the like metaphysical crown like actively out of like my forehead and like chucking it onto the stage. It's not real, so it's not gonna hurt your deck.
Yeah, you rip that thing off and like throw it down. It just disappears into terrible ethereal darkness.
And I feel like
cool.
at least initially, I'm gonna like maybe like start to run for where she left, but
You get your full turn.
yeah.
On a nat 20, like that's not an end of the turn save. That is a you.
But
What would you like to do?
You didn't successfully move Valerie, right?
I did.
She's moved about 5 feet.
Okay.
And you're starting your turn next to me with my alacrity aura, so you have plus 10 movement.
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll be enough to get you to the door.
No, I know, but like there's like a Daphne and a whatever in the way, right?
Well, they are friendly people, so you can move through their spaces.
No, I know. I mean, like, if Itzel is like, I want to run the fuck after, Chantel and, like, kill this bitch, and then there's someone on the ground in front of me that I like, okay, maybe not. So, if we've moved Valerie a little bit, but Daphne is still there, Itzel will go over to Daphne and pull her out of the portal.
Okay.
And, well, let me... I mean, 60 feet may or may not end up on... Like, that's off the map, but probably not enough to actually hit Chantel, right?
So I will tell you, she has been taking actions to continue running between your turns. So I know exactly how far away she is.
All right.
Now, you can still chase her. She is booking it out of there.
I'm gonna move Daphne if I can make that an athletics check or whatever, but like we're absolutely gonna also send that moonbeam right the shit out the door.
Okay. What's the
60 feet
the door? For moonbeam 60 feet?
Mm-hmm. It makes it out the door. It doesn't make it far out the door, but it makes it out the door.
Gotcha. Yeah, there's no target, so you like.
Yes, it's mostly an emotional action right now.
I love it. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense.
We're not happy about it. Also, it's gonna go right through the wraith next to Bella. So, like, yeah.
Cool. Very cool.
Just mad.
Yeah, you just fire this moonbeam out the door, scream, Chantel! All right. Highly dramatic moment.
How dare she?
Disrespectful.
I'm gonna make a check because I think it's funny. And then we'll be almost done with the round.
worry.
Just for you, I guess.
Itzel, how close to the door are you able to get? Like, do you actually move towards the door, or are you just staying there on stage and just kind of blasting in that direction?
If I was like pulling Daphne out of the portal, I imagine I'm like up against the psych or whatever this is right here.
Okay. Bella, you hear it then. You hear your sweet car, the engine turn over,
Of course.
How
and
That
just start
dare
Horror.
she?
accelerating with a mad, feverish drive for escape.
Oh, now it's personal.
Beep, beep.
Um,
Cool. That is
Pencil.
the race is gonna go, and then that was Chantel's turn. Steal a fucking car. All right. Jeez.
That was just vindictive. I mean
Look.
that for both you and Chantel, but okay, yeah.
If you are running from certain death and you see a car,
If she knows
Free
how
car.
to drive it, and like
Does she have proficiency in land vehicles?
she does not. But
She immediately crashes into the theater.
I did give her a check to see if she could drive it, and she's.
Oh my God.
That's why I was like, I'll do a check. It'll be kind of funny to see what happens because she might have just like kept running. No. The Wraith continues to take more sun damage. 6, 12, Jesus, 19, 20 damage from the sunlight.
The sun is rolling really well today.
Yeah, that was a 7, 7, 6, and 1, right? So that's probably right.
That's 21.
Yeah, that's cool. The math is good. It is on death's door. Bella, you're up. Oh, that's
Get out the door and shoot that bitch.
It gets a turn, actually. The Wraith does get a turn.
Oh, fine.
No, I forgot. I was just excited for Bella to kill it.
Is the light affecting this shadow portal
No,
abyss?
it is not.
Okay.
The Wraith goes to attack Bella. Swells up in much larger size, pulling its remaining darkness. You see some pieces of the other Wraiths are pulled towards it as well, right? It's usually clouded in darkness face as the shadows pull back and reveals just a terrifying, hate-filled skull, right, with burning dark purple eyes. And looks at you and says, I will extinguish all life. Everyone here, starting with you. Lunges towards you and erupts into flames from the sunlight. As the Nat 1 on its attack.
Oh, man.
Just
maybe the
fucking
you
destroys
they
it.
were referring to was themselves.
The skull like lands by your foot, looks up, somehow gives you the finger. Cool. Bella, your turn.
Well then.
Wow. Disadvantage is rough.
So Odette is still trying to save Rowan behind me, correct?
Odette is trying to save Rowan. Itzel seems like she's trying to help Daphne. Valen's helping Valerie, right? And Xandros, his body's just kind of like slowly just sliding towards the portal.
We should have this. That bitch stole our car.
We have more important things to do right now. And Odette looks at the growing portal and is like, "Can we kill it?"
Bella, you can make an Arcana check.
Yeah, definitely gonna do.
Yeah.
So, Itzel, you can as well. Sorry, I didn't give you a chance to do one on your turn.
Yeah.
That is gonna be a 21 for
hell yeah.
my Arcana check.
15.
Cool. Yeah, Itzel, you realize like this. I mean, you were in the portal. You know what it does, right? It is literally robbing people of skills, abilities, and memories. To go where and to do what exactly, you're not sure. But you know that trying to interact with it in any way without preparation is going to be really dangerous, right? Uh, and I'll give you
Do I know how to kill it? Yeah.
so. Unfortunately, no, but the 21 will get it. I mean, you know, you can dispel it, right?
Yeah,
And you think
yeah.
that'll work.
Like, I was going to try it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. On a 21 Bella, you realize that like a dispel will work. But what's more interesting is you don't think it's going to grow in size. You don't think it's going to go away either without some type of, you know, magic dismissal, right? The question that is really interesting to you and to Gray as well is where is this going? Right? Because Chantel was here and was stealing abilities from people, she left this thing wide open. Certainly intriguing. Could be incredibly dangerous to go through, though.
Yeah, you're making me want to like jump in, and that seems like a bad move.
Oh no, let me rephrase that. Gray goes, yeah, this portal is fascinating. I mean, we shouldn't get within a mile of it without any type of preparation and research, but I just wonder if you're taking things from people like that, especially this esoteric, unsubstantial things, and they're not going to the person that created it. Where's the link? All I know is if we leave it be, it'll probably not expand. But then that's a problem for whoever finds it, right? Yeah. We should, in good faith and conscience, we should close this thing. Let me take some notes first.
All right. So to summarize that whole like internal dialogue, Bella is just gonna shout at Itzel. You need to try to dispel it, or else we just need to get out of here. And meanwhile, she is then going to move here and use Spare the Dying on Rowan.
Cool.
Aww.
And after that, just look at Odette and be like, just start moving them to the portal. The good portal, not this portal.
Odette like looks at both portals and she like nods. Oh yes. Thank you for saving my friend.
Very cool. You've got some movement left, so make a strength check, please.
Monster.
For Bella. What was that?
It almost landed on one.
That would have been hilarious. Okay.
So, currently, because my strength modifier is a -1, I would be at 12. However, my recollection is that I got guidance from the chat a while ago and didn't need to use it on my Eldritch Blast. So I would like to use that now, please.
Go for it.
And that added a 1.
Cool.
To make it 13 on my strength check.
Yeah, you're able to move since nobody's like fighting with you. Even Rowan's able to kind of like help a little bit. He's definitely not in the best place physically or mentally, but he's able to kind of like get his feet under him and walk with you a little bit over towards the circle. That's where you want to go. Take your full move.
Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Cool. Some other stuff happens. Okay. Very cool. Do I have any death saving throws left for the dancers? Yes, I do. Valerie has to save. Second throw.
What was that? Oh, the moonbeam.
Yeah, she put it outside the door.
Just leapt through space.
I was like, that's just in the way.
Okay. Valerie starts to look worse as things are being moved away from the portal, and Daphne and Xanros are not actively feeding it. The portal kind of shifts in direction and seems to be like pulling more life force from Valerie. She failed.
Bring her this way. I can spare her too.
Odette, you're up.
I have lay on hands.
Okay. Who was feeding things? Sorry.
So Valerie
Valerie's
here.
the only one alive, unless you want to drag. But if you want to like just drag Xanros's dead body to the portal in case we can do something to undead him.
I do have to make one more check. This is important.
De-dead him. Undead is something different in this game.
I'm not picky.
So I had to make one more check.
Maybe Odette wants to get famous for having the first undead troupe, theatrical productions.
Who can
It would be
say?
a real hit with the goth crowd.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be cool. Xenros does slide closer to the portal.
And I believe there was actually one other guidance from the chat that hasn't been used.
There was, because
probably.
they were trying to throw it towards some of the luck things for Aurora, but that didn't happen. So there's spare guidance floating around, basically.
Is it
Yeah,
my
it's
turn?
Odette.
My turn.
Yeah, you see Xenros just like slowly sliding across the stage.
Not so fast.
Just,
She like grabs his feet, and then just like does her best to like heft him, and moves.
okay.
Yeah,
you can move half. Make a strength chase, athletics check if you want to move your.
Oh, I do.
Full move.
That's probably not going to be much. I heard acrobatics, correct? Right? No.
Not for carrying people.
This is an 8. I have a +0.
Yeah, you can move and get a little closer, kind of like work your way through the portal chases you. Work your way through the orchestra area, but you don't get your full 30 move.
Okay.
Yeah.
Odette looks at the. Is that my action?
That was your move.
That was my move.
You basically ran over, grabbed Xanros, and moved him away from the portal.
Odette,
difficult terrain to carry a person, basically.
No trouble. I do have the movement of 45.
Oh, okay. Then you would be able to move 25.
Great. Odette turns toward the weird portal that sucks people's memories and experiences, and takes out her like book, and she like holds it close to her, and she just does like a little pirouette and like just glares at the portal itself, and like instead of like shooting a shadow, like there's like a bit of like shadow force kind of like glancing against it. So there's no and I'm casting Eldritch Blast basically. So
cool. As you open your book,
I don't open it. I'm holding it.
Nothing happens.
It's my casting thing. Actually, I can just use my weapon for it, but it's fine. Just for drama.
I like it.
Right. So that would be 26. So to hit.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
So instead of like kind of like Bella does, like she just glares at things and like shadows kind of like erupt around it or kind of like impact it somehow.
Cool.
So and that would be. Just looking at that 1d10. That's crazy. 8 points of force damage as I shoot it a haughty glance.
You shoot this energy into the portal. It stops reaching towards Valerie as these blasts come from you, and it turns, and it doesn't move, right? But you see, like, just in the same way that like you can tilt water in a bucket, right? It kind of just sloshes around. It just sloshes in your direction, and eagerly intercepts those eldritch blasts. And you see it just swirled inside of it. It grows a little bit in size.
Are you kidding me? Oh, she says, Itzel, you do your thing. I won't mess with it anymore.
Thank you for
It's supposed to do that.
It's Valen's turns first, though. No.
Yeah, Valen, you're up. Yeah, you see Odette fires this magic into the portal and starts to expand even more. It has like you see the swirls and faint images of the Eldritch Blast that she cast, like now moving in the light of this portal as it's become bigger.
That's fine. I've still got my Fearless Athlete on me. I'm going to pick up these last two bodies and truck them on over to the portal.
Hell yeah!
And I'm
Good.
going to throw 10 points of lay on hands on the one that's still alive.
Dope. Go ahead and throw athletics with advantage, and you can
Alrighty.
easily. Well, I assume you can easily do this.
Should be.
Yeah,
That's a 16.
that'll do it.
Okay.
Yeah. You know to heft them both up. Whoop. You grab the portal as well.
I'm just going to take this with me.
Yeah. It looks big, but it's really light, actually.
This was part of the loot, right?
Yeah. Cool. And how much do you lay on hands for Valerie?
I throw 10 at her. Same as I
Okay.
did for the other guy.
Yeah. Same deal. Just comes back to life, looks at you and goes, yeah. Hi. What happened?
I'm with Odette. We're here to save you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, that's really great. I like your beard. Just like
Thank you.
relaxes on the floor. All right, cool. It is Itzel's turn.
Yeah. So we've got now nobody around me, right? It's just the okay.
Just the portal.
All right. So I will do what I have done before to Odette's book, etc. Only a little bit more dramatically right now. Sort of going to put out like with both hands and do like sort of that like pulling summoning motion to take out a like almost vapor of that like very like navy blue energy of it that sort of looks like her her spell casting, only sort of in reverse. So let's cast this at 4th level because
Ooh.
that is less likely for it to be not happening.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
So that's a DC of 14 then, I think. Yeah.
Or if it's a level 4 or less, it just automatically goes away.
Correct.
Oh no, hold on.
Dispel magic 9th level.
Power of Christ compels you.
Yeah. Oh wow, you pissed somebody off. So
yeah,
it's whatever level you cast it at, it's that level or below automatically goes away.
Yeah. 10. So yep. Okay.
Cool. You just cast the spell. And the portal just swirls again, because again, this is like the 3-dimensional column of like purple and black mist. It's been just moving around, swirling, and just eerily silent, right? But otherwise, like, has that strange pull, adds a little bit of like wind or arcana around it that like pushes people back or disrupts like hair and clothing. But as you look at this thing and you ready your spell, you sense something deep inside, right? And it starts showing you things just for a second. And you can, of course, choose to ignore these things and close the portal whenever you'd like. But it shows you, your own memory, right? Of when you first wild-shaped, jumping through the trees with the monkeys.
That was the one it took away, right?
Mm-hmm. It shows you other memories, right? Of people learning and growing. You see people doing like the first throw of a baseball. You see the first time someone rides a bike, right? You start seeing more complicated things as people walk across the stage for graduations of various academic institutes. You start seeing flashes of different battles as someone fells a grand opponent, and they stand there in their victory using their martial prowess to win the day. You start seeing all these different images and experiences. And the portal just, you feel that they want to be used. And you feel that this strange lifetime of memories, once you dispel them, you'll get yours back. You know that. If you don't know about the rest, it'd be a shame for all that to go to waste. So, mechanically, you can choose to dispel this portal, or you can choose to effectively safeguard these memories inside yourself, which may or may have strange effects on you.
You do have protection still, too. He said if you're not prepared earlier, and I was like, oh, somebody's prepared.
So, your call.
I mean, so like it didn't affect any of. I'm the only one of us that it affected. So, is like my memory of wild shape, like, does that sort of feel like it comes back to me regardless, or is that still sort of in the nexus of the stuff from the portal?
It's in the nexus of the stuff for the portal. Administratively, I will give you the knowledge that when you have a long rest, this will return to you. And you, deep in the core of your being, know that as such an intrinsic part of who you are, that can't be taken from you in that respect.
So like the other memories that are in here, I guess what I'm trying to get at is like the people that survived the portal will probably get those back. But
not
if
sure
like
about that.
Okay, because I was like, also like if someone say had died and had been under the like influence of the portal, where the fuck that's the one that we don't know where it would go.
No, I will tell you for a fact you will get your abilities back when you rest. Whatever else happens, that is unknown because this is a bizarre circumstance.
I think she lets it go. Like,
okay.
Like there's that like tempting hubris of it, like, yeah, if we could find a way to bottle this, like, great, spritz here and there, now I know how to play baseball. What the fuck is baseball? But like that like they're not mine, and some of these were taken from people that can't get them back. And like where does like that energy has to go back to something, and I'd rather return it to like the universe than try and be a vessel for it and explode, whatever. Like, it's not mine. I also like,
Okay.
still don't know what baseball is, but hot dogs look cool.
Well, if you took the portal memories, you know what baseball is.
Yeah.
No,
like it's got that like, I mean, it's the like slight siren song of like the like, okay, like, new exciting abilities and talent, but then like, this is not a force that's mine. Like
as long as the entity that made the portal doesn't get them.
You are making a very responsible.
As in, like, release it, like send it back out into the ether, like scatter as much as possible. Not, yeah.
You wave your hand, you cast the spell, and the portal vanishes. Right. Leaving you with just kind of some lingering questions, maybe some regret, who knows. But that breaks the initiative.
Yeah.
And everyone, this is very important. This is the last thing we'll do before we kind of like take a bit of a break. It has been 5 rounds since this combat began. You have effectively 30 seconds to decide if you're going to use Revivify on Xandros and Daphne. You have 4 of those scrolls. Your call, but it must be decided like before you do anything else, or that opportunity will be lost.
Yeah, I'll use mine.
Yeah, me too.
Okay. There's 1. There's 2. Very cool. All right, go ahead and mark those off. Right. So you whip out those 2 scrolls of Revivify. Right. You know that the
Excuse me while I whip it out.
just, one of my favorite bits. I'm sorry, I have to sidetrack. Is when someone has like a scroll or some type of like long parchment for announcement, and they unroll it, and it just keeps rolling down like the aisleway and out the door, and they just keep like reading off a bunch. It's dumb as hell, but it's my favorite bits.
It's a classic. Yeah.
Yeah. But you know that these scrolls were already pre-charged, right? Yusef gave them to you before your first little adventure with him, and you use these spells of Revivify to bring Xandros and Daphne back, right? They both gasp, look around, kind of like go to almost jump up with an adrenaline surge. I think you kind of able to keep them like, hey, whoa, you're okay, you're good, you know. I need...
Odette,
okay, so
thanks.
Itzel... Hold on, this is important. I need to make sure I get this right. Itzel, who do you heal?
Generous. I mean, like, I'm the one that, yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And Valen, you healed Daphne. Okay.
Yep.
Valen, Daphne looks like she's waking up from just a rather terrible hungover night of sleep, right? That moment where you're like literally having to summon your soul back into your body because your alarm's going off, and you're like, it's Monday, I shouldn't have stayed out till 4 a.m. drinking, like, you know, you see like one eye like looks off to the side over there, you see the wounds, or like rather the life and vitality come back into her because the wraith wounds are all not ethereal, but yeah.
Whomst among us? Yeah.
Right. See color return to her body, and she just looks up at you, kind of looks around a bit, sees Odette, and does the same thing of like, it's the worst rehearsal I have ever done. And then Chantel showed up.
She ruins everything.
She ruins everything. Sorry, I'd like to be more enthusiastic about cursing her and her name, but
It's okay.
feel
I'll do it
awful.
for both of us. Yeah.
Oh, you're really cool. Thanks.
Okay.
Go ahead. Do you have a thing you want to throw out there?
Yes. I had an action or a story action I wanted to do, but I want you to finish if you need to finish.
Cool. Yeah, I won't stop the scene until you have a chance to do your thing. Xandros, when he comes back,
Itzel's face the whole time is just kind of like.
what do you say as you like finish casting this spell and you see like he starts to breathe again? You see like color and expression and life come back into his body.
I mean, I imagine he's got some like scorch marks from moonbeams, so we're gonna
A little bit.
Yeah.
Those heal the costume's damaged, obviously.
Yeah.
Budget department wasn't really spending a lot of
Okay.
money on these.
I'm sorry for the miscalculation on the like. I will happily help with some of the. Welcome back. If you would like to talk about your, experience in Passage, I am, I know some things about that part.
He grabs you by your like collar, right? As just like in a reaching, panicked grab, and kind of pulls you in closer. What do you do?
I'm gonna imagine that I'm probably stronger than he is right now, so we're gonna like resist
yeah.
some of the pull and just like like pat his shoulder, but like push him back down to the like. You need to take it easy.
Okay. Yeah, you yank back, and he's very weak hands like let go, as he's just kind of whispering something under his breath over and over
I mean,
and
like
over.
gentle, but like like yeah, like we'll maybe not allow the like weird Richter Mortis embrace going on. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So if he's whispering, like
Yeah.
I'll get close enough to hear it, but I don't want his like I don't want him to be like embracing me, I guess. Because that seems
He
awkward.
just keeps whispering over and over again. There's a legion of them. Thousands. They're here already. They're just on the other side. They're coming. Not for Neverwinter, but for everywhere. For everywhere. And just keeps repeating this over and over.
Yay!
I mean, we knew that this was like the spell plague, so that kind of confirms, right? Yeah. Great. Okay.
Odette.
Odette comes over to Itzel and like she thanks Valen and like gives him like a squeeze of the shoulder and then goes over to um Itzel and like gives her like a sisterly hug and like thanks her and gives Itzel her revivify scroll. She's like, thank you. I will never be able to repay you. And she goes
I
to,
can't.
no,
take
you must. It is.
it was my fault.
I am still relatively new to
Like
this.
like I'll like take like at least like a half step back from Sanro, so it's like his I caused his pain, Odette.
But you fixed it, and that I am new to this still, but that is what makes you a hero. And she like pushes the scroll toward her again. Please.
Well, in light of the crown, maybe you can hold on to it for me for a while, just in case.
This is your property, and I am happy to hold on to it until you need it again. And she like winks, and
All right.
she does thank. Uh, she just shoots this like huge grin at Bella, and she's like, "That is very impressive. You nearly killed her." And then she thinks she's like, "What was it that she dropped?"
There was a
I
metallic
would
figure.
very much like to kill her when we see her again. That's a personal thing now, but yes,
Um,
I have to
so
make peace
goes-
with it.
who
Maybe
goes over there?
meditate a little bit, but like,
That is the second combat in a row now where the boss has been the hair from death and got away with something. Oh, I'm mad now.
yes.
Forgot about that lantern.
It's true.
And now our car.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, she rolled out with 12 hit points.
It does not.
No,
it does
it
not
doesn't.
make me feel
Yeah.
better.
I was like, oh, she's got like 30 some 40 some hit points, like I'll have her start moving out, and then Bella with her just ice death wave of like, that's my own problem, I did this to me.
Yeah.
Great spell.
Just like I was like, oh shit, if she's immobilized, that might
Great
actually
spell. Thanks for finding it for me.
yeah, here to help.
If she had been immobilized, that would have been perfect.
yeah,
Oh man.
yeah, that would have been perfect.
I will say this.
Slowly flick her to death if she'd been.
She can Misty Step, I will say that. So it would have been a hindrance, but not as much with one.
Just means that Bella has to cast it more than once.
Yeah.
That's fine.
It would have been interesting because the hex would have given her disadvantage to break out of the ice, and so that would have been neat.
Mhm.
Um,
Odette says, we should move soon, but I'm just going to check one thing and say goodbye to this place. But Lady Alora is waiting on the other side. Uh, Odette does go over to see what Chantel dropped, to like grab it and then rush back to the portal.
Cool. You see that she, when mocking you, right, she grabbed one of those darts and put it up in her hair, but she has her hair pinned up, right, a
Mhm.
variety of different ways. Uh, she has dropped a beautiful and elegant looking hairpin.
Oh,
And you've seen her, she knows that she has like a history of wearing these very over the top accessories, right?
mhm.
And this is no different. This is extremely fancy. She probably paid a lot of money to craft it or to buy it or stole it from someone very important, right? But it is just absolutely beautiful.
Hmm.
The thing that makes it weird is that at the end it has what looks like a skull on it.
Hmm.
As you kind of move it around and look at it, you feel like a menthol numbing tingling sensation of magic
Oh.
on your hand.
Okay. And Odette like rushes back and tries to like easily shadow port into the sunlight, and she's like, ugh. And
Ah, damn it!
and she obviously stops short and shakes her head and shakes her head at the theater and kind of like thanks it for its service, and returns and she looks at Itzel and she says, I was hoping she dropped the kunai, but maybe another day. I know you were eyeing those throughout the battle.
Yeah. Well, the not as much as her head now. So
Now you understand. She like exasperates at everybody. You understand how terrible she is.
yeah. I would very much like to kill her.
Me too.
Now, while Odette was doing that, I was going to say that it looks like we are taking the recovering actors with us, right, through the portal.
Yeah.
That is what I understand.
The dude who I gave the hit points to and ran out the door.
Yes.
I was trying not to leave him behind. I was going to go over and look out, see if I could get him and be like, come on, we're leaving.
Go ahead and make an investigate check. Because he booked it like round 2.
He absolutely ran. But
Yeah. Does not say you can't find him, though.
Just cowering in the bushes.
I got a 15.
Okay. Yeah, you walk out the back door, right? You kind of look around real quick. There's a bit of a crowd, just because there's a lot of noise, right? Even in the theater, like, yeah, there's still some stuff happening. The moonbeam that was blown out the door kind of made a few people go like,
It's a new show. We're practicing. Don't worry about it.
"Oh, cool, new show?
Yes.
Oh, cool. When do you guys start?
Next year.
How can I get tickets next year? Oh my god, are they already sold out?
Only the box seats.
I'm trying to buy them on Fantasy Ticketmaster, but they keep doubling the price. It's absolutely terrible."
Service fees, man. We know.
Yeah, right. It's incredible. What's going on here? So you look
That
over
extra
and
cleaning fee.
you see where your car was parked, right? And you see like a street lamp that's been kind of clipped. You just feel that immediate like rage of like she took her fucking shit, but it's long gone.
She can't even drive.
Put that out of your mind. She's not proficient. She's got lucky on a roll.
I'd like to put it out of my mind. You keep bringing it up.
That's true. That's true. I'm so sorry. So anyway, after she robbed you of all your possessions that you had in that vehicle that you worked so hard for, you walk around a corner, and you hear just heavy breathing and a little bit of vomiting, right? And as you take that second to like peer around the edge of the alleyway, you see Flynn, who had made it like all of 150 feet at like a dead sprint, having been life drained by a wraith, given some hit points, it came back to life, has now just like fallen over and is like barely clinging to some type of consciousness as he just like is thrown up from exertion.
Who amongst us hasn't tried to go for a run the night after heavy drinking?
Right? Yeah, he looks like he probably would have been fine eventually, but he looks happy to see you. He's like, I thought I had a little more. Hold on, I'm good. I think it's all out.
You had corn yesterday. Yeah.
It was corn day at the cafeteria, so just so it was popcorn, corn on the cob, cream corn. It was all candy corn for dessert. It was not great actually, but
I regret the things that came out of my mouth.
God, you can really project. I can hear you all the way from the theater. It takes Valen's hand and like pulls it.
Like, the rest of your friends are okay. We're getting out of here. Come on.
Oh, thank God. All right. And you drag him to the portal as well. Everyone else sees Valen come dragging Flynn back, who's got like a little bit of cream corn vomit on his pants, but otherwise no worse for the wear.
Okay.
Cool. Odette, you know that whenever you are ready, you can effectively just will this portal to take you. You're in tune enough with your ancestor's magic that you kind of know she left the keys to the ignition for you whenever you want to go. That's the car reference.
It's a family thing.
My bad.
Yeah.
Odette
Salt in the
kind of
room.
like starts to do this shadowy dance, and like her after images kind of follow her, but she like lets everybody know. She's like, I just want to let you know, when we meet Lady Alora, she is very wise. She is the most graceful thing I have ever met. But she is very old. She's very strong. And she might look a little surprising. So just brace yourself and fortify yourself. And then she like enters the center and just kind of spins until like the magic kind of goes off.
Yeah. You spin, and as you spin, the lights, the edges around the portal light up around, kind of matching your motion. You spin a little faster until the whole thing is almost lit. And then with a just whoosh of power, you feel yourselves leave Neverwinter to a new and exciting location. And with that, we'll take a 10-minute break.
Yeah. With our hostages. I mean, rescues.
Yeah.
We have actors that are hostages.
Sometimes you gotta
somebody will
improvise.
pay to get them back. No.
Very cool that you have saved everyone. That is a good move. So,
Yes.
well played.
My closed captioning just says USA when you said that.
You saved everyone. You
save all.
There it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll be back. It'll take a quick break. We'll be back in 10 minutes, and we'll explore this new and exciting land that we are now in. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah. Great game.
Great game. We'll put it back to regular. So you burned one of your advantage points. Let's bring that back down to 5. Right? Very cool.
Correct.
It
It was worth it, though.
was worth it.
Absolutely.
Last Chantal and her stupid face.
Just walking
Chantal.
through this series of both great and terrible things that occurred in that last 5 seconds of combat. Just bullshit.
Just gonna start calling her Chanterelle.
So yes, it is Chantel 2 L's 1 E, but we can call her whatever we want. She's
Shots,
the worst.
no talent.
More like
No
crap
talent
tail.
back.
Yeah,
Shanty L.
dumb face tell. Go back to 5-year-old incel. It's like, yeah, no, you.
Chantel, more like crap tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got her.
Got it good. Damn it.
Oh, my dice are all mixed up now. What have I done here? I'm just like grabbing handfuls of dice for that last encounter, and I was like, oh, this is good. Cool. So, still no rest yet, which is terrible. But that's okay. We'll
We only need one of those.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, you go to a place of safety. You should be able to
Well,
chill out for a bit, right?
so we think.
That's an excellent point. One
Thanks,
last thing.
Rouge.
I just roll a luck check to see if you all die. You're fine. So, one last thing I'll note before I forget. The hairpin that you found, right, is basically like it's this beautiful, like, metallic, shining silver skull, right? The pin actually goes through the eyes in the back. Kind of keep
That sounds unpleasant.
Yeah. It's interesting because it shouldn't work like this. The way you're looking at it, when you hold it, it's just this hollow kind of faceplate with like a little bone kind of pin. When you put it together, one of the eyes glows with like a soft reddish orange light. And like I said, you feel the sensation of some magic around this thing. We have to take some time to sit down to really figure out what
Only
it does.
one of the eyes glows?
Mm-hmm.
It's winking.
Hey! Of course, it's Chantel's hairpin to be terrible too, right? So,
Chantel.
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like even Chantel's accessories can't do anything right. That's fine.
These accessories are like super ratchet. Like, just dunk on her as much as we can. Yeah, unfortunately, she did make her way with 12 hit points. Teleport.
Does
Go ahead.
the divine sense or our third eye, whatever, sense anything on the pendant? Like, is it cursed?
You would have to cast detect magic and do some Arcana checks, just to get a general vibe of what it is.
General vibe of what it is.
And then with identify or an hour of short rest, you can kind of get more into the deeper aspects. I'll say if you want to make an initial.
Odette is a jeweler. I'm gonna let you know. I will never tell
One
her.
of these
This
days,
is incredibly well crafted
that's gonna
jewelry.
be coming in clutch.
Yeah. No, this is actually very well crafted. You actually. Hey, do me a favor, roll your jewelry.
Yes.
What was
Yeah.
the jewelry tools?
Because it is like you are proficient with the tools, then you have to tell me what exactly I'm relating the roll
This
to,
would be
and I
intelligence plus
add my
proficiency.
proficiency in whatever thing, whatever.
You just take out like
Oh.
a loop that has multiple lenses and just stare at it.
Oh, she
yeah.
just goes like. Worth
Intelligence
on a
plus,
goal. There you go.
intelligence plus proficiency.
Oh yeah, she most definitely takes out like a bunch of like lenses. She has like a tiny jeweler's anvil. They're real cute. It's like a huge anvil, but it's like that big. And like like kind of tinkers and like it takes out little screws and stuff like that to kind of like poke at it.
Heck yeah.
And she's like,
Intelligence plus proficiency.
intelligence? Yeah.
Get it.
Well, that's a nat one, so never mind.
I'm so sorry.
So much build up. Sorry, guys.
I mean, it's.
I'm
You're
sorry.
looking
You
at the jeweler's kit. You.
This
You
is
know,
cheap
you-
plastic crap.
Yeah, you bite it and you're like, that's real metal.
Must be gold.
There is, oh, man. There is different styles you can tell and different signatures that go into works like this, where you might be able to identify like where she got this from. On a nat one, you have no clue where to start. The artist didn't sign this thing in any cool way. There's like just a stylistic thing you could identify here, but it might have been a viable way to track.
Yeah, she looks at it and she's like, this has no maker's mark. It just keeps on numbing my fingers, so I keep on dropping it. Um, it's
It is like
just
touching
a
cold metal.
style. I've never seen it before. Maybe it is something from like an undead society or something like that. No clue.
It's real shiny. You should wear it.
Oh yeah, that's nothing bad's gonna.
Let's figure out what it does first.
Cool magic stuff. So you gather everyone else up, right? Xanros is still kind of whispering just crazy shit over and over about the legions, the thousands that are there.
The legions
other
of
side.
boom.
I will let this occur too. I know we said we teleported, but we're still doing admin actions, right? Anybody who wants to can make an Arcana or Religion check. As they're listening to Xanros and his kooky sayings.
I continue to be a priest who's awful at religion.
You know what? I'm gonna try and give you advantage. I'm gonna assist another. Odette says, "Well, there's this one play that we did one time." And she starts talking and occasionally starts making religious allusions, even though she might not be aware of it. So,
Does that give you
Heck yeah.
advantage?
aiding another, yes.
Heck yeah.
Oh.
Okay, well, depending on my
That
roll
got
was
worse.
a
It was
10.
4.
So if anybody else, I'll use the advantage if somebody else.
I got a 16 on my religion check.
Cool.
That's
do it.
not half bad. Okay.
Because I am a nerd, and in the hall in the dungeon took the book that gives me a +1 on religion checks.
That's right.
Hey,
Yeah, we've needed it.
Yeah.
you have made multiple religion checks. I'm
Yeah.
glad you have that book.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
so
nice.
convenient that it was put there for you. Jeez.
I even changed from the dice to the dice roller, and it still got worse.
Oh, that's bad.
As
I
a
see it.
paladin, I am very in character. I've been a priest for a year. I read the
Mhm.
book. At some point, I'm sure of it.
Yeah, I saw the cliff notes. It was cool. Here's the thing. Xanros is talking about legions on the other side, right? Because of the way your powers kind of interact with the world around you, there are a lot of different ways you can travel. There's about what you're about to do, which is this cool teleportation, just kind of a point-to-point thing. But there are other ways to slip into realms that are overlaid with the material plane that lets you do strange and unique things, though. Maybe even have some influence on the material plane while still in the safety of another realm. There are 2 such places that have very, very close overlay with the material plane. There's the ethereal plane, right, which you've seen a little bit of, and you've heard Gray reference it because he talked about Zangi going crazy and then off the map going ethereal is how he described it. It's also the plane of shadows, which is where a bunch of dark, undead, negative energy, scary stuff hangs out. You can traverse either one. It is not immediately lethal for a normal person to go to either one of these planes. Asterisk. If you are not prepared to go to these places, you will die quickly. Unless you are in control of some sort of spellcasting ability or have some sort of safety. Right? All this to say, though, they make great ways to travel with lots of stuff in a more esoteric and circuitous manner all across the world. If you can actually manage to navigate them without dying. And you hear Xandros keep repeating, there's a legion. They are moving. They are everywhere. They are coming. And it's concerning because you could put a lot of people or things a lot of places very quickly.
They're using the ways to travel.
Definitely not related at all. But the thing that was stolen from Tempest's temple,
The lantern.
wouldn't say be able to open a whole bunch of holes between these planes, right?
Man. Hey, make a religion check at advantage.
Yeah. Uh, 14.
That is a really insightful connection that a lantern used to kind of shine light upon the things in front of you for better navigation could, in fact, have some play in this. That's a really interesting insight. Yeah, that's a very good connection that you had made.
Yeah. Some of our
It's not a
brains are just
good
better at putting
connection.
together the worst case scenario, so it's fine. Yeah. Yeah. Valen, that lantern like lights ways, right? Capital W ways.
Do I know anything about it from the history of the church?
The main thing that Father
Oh,
Stone was able
Father
to tell
Stone
you all,
talked to me about it.
he was able to tell you all it was a lantern that could be used to summon or get the attention of the worm that walks, and it had the ability to. It was tied very closely to like decay and death, which makes sense for its ties to like the plane of shadows.
Plane of shadow.
Right.
Okay.
The thing is, when you try to go beyond that, the only way to really learn more about a relic like that is either have a ton of knowledge about it already or start playing with it.
Yeah, have it in your
And
hands. Yeah.
The church deemed it too dangerous to mess with, so they just basically bound it and locked it up.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
But good connection.
Okay, where are we?
As of right now, you're still in the theater. I have not pulled the trigger on the teleportation
Oh, okay,
yet.
okay.
Just to give you all a chance to kind of
Yeah,
talk
just-
and like sort information.
Yeah.
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 Whenever
Alright,
you're
let's
ready, just hit the button.
And like we're traveling through a hole in between planes with this portal. So like
Oh, it is.
it definitely closes behind us, right? Like all of that, like yeah.
Oh yes, most definitely.
So we're not leaving like a big gaping tear behind, like
I
for
do
things to.
not
No,
believe. Lady Alora is. She is my favorite relative. I love her almost as much as my mother and father. She has taught me a great deal of what I know, and she is very, very precise in everything she does. She cannot make a mistake, and she would not offer this grand magic to us if she did not have faith that she could sew it up behind us. She taught me almost everything I know, and she like looks at the book in front of her and just like, I will have to ask her if there is a way she can fix
she can-
this.
Okay, yeah. If she can open these, can she close them? Ideally, rapidly. If say a bunch of them were to spring up.
She has come and gone to my family before, so yes.
Point of clarification too for magic users, right? For teleportation, it is point to point. They usually don't rip open like a tunnel of any type.
Once again, worst case scenario. Okay.
Understood.
Yeah,
Understood. This is the way that magic is assumed to work. That people, as far as they understand, this is what's happening.
Yeah. Like I don't know
so it
if
should
when
be
you
point to
break
point,
the
there shouldn't
fabric
be
with
a
the
whole bunch of
portal,
shit there.
if it's weaker behind where we left it, like.
So, if you are plane shifting, that has other weird effects around you as well. That is done in much more controlled environments.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, let's go see your auntie.
Cool. All right. Same thing. The circle, lights up as described before, and teleport away. You recall the last time you teleported with Yusef? Told you to, hold your breath,
Mm-hmm.
right? This feels very different. right? This is like you are moved through a very disorienting couple of seconds, but like on a soft beanbag chair, right? Kind of just like lean back into the ether. And you're like, this is actually kind of nice. There's no like lurch or confusion, and then you're standing on a another teleportation pad, right? As you look around, and your eyes kind of adjust to the dim, glowing twilight. Here, a lot of purples, blues, right? Uh, you're in looks like a large hall, and standing next to the teleportation circle. We could choose. I'll show you these photos so you have an idea of who you're looking at. Yeah, that seems right. The battle is won. So I'll just make that go away. I should have thought of this ahead of time. Blank.
You have quite a few to kind of select from. So
Oh, the maps? Yeah, I got plenty of maps.
yeah.
Maps for days. I don't think it's all my maps actually. You are met with a woman, right? Who is just standing at the edge of the teleportation circle, hands kind of touching these two runes, right? Eyes glowing with just this mystic starlight and energy. You can see it covers her whole body. Even like her clothing seems to be made out of like starlights or nebulas or galaxies or something. As the energy in her shifts, she casts or she reels in this spell, and all of you land safely. And she looks and proceeds to just start counting, very very obviously, like counting who is here. Um, as you're kind of adjust to the rest of the area, and you see further back, kind of waiting in this hall by some tables with prepared food, right, is someone you, Odette, recognize immediately, right? Uh, Almost looks like a strange porcelain vase that has come to life and moves with just beautiful grace and precision, right? Has this wonderful headdress. You can see there's some skeletal features about her, but nothing radiates menace from her. You feel you're in the presence of someone who is very old and very wise about the world. She sits there at the head of this table, kind of carefully and deliberately stirring a spoon in a teacup. Standing behind her is a large, hulking, you're not sure who's in this thing, but it is a large, hulking suit of armor with the faceplate down. Right? You can see it's shined to perfection so that anyone staring at it would probably just see their own reflection. But the armor itself is just covered in this like mossy vines, right, with a little bit of bioluminescent color that seem to weave their way into the pattern as part of a deliberate outfit rather than something that's overgrown over time. And standing behind Lady Alora, right, the porcelain woman, and slightly to the right. So, the spell ends, and Lady Alora says, Is everyone safe?
We are.
There's no sigh, actually. It's quiet.
As a follower of the god of battle, do I recognize the figure in armor at all? As a follower of Tempest, we do not hide our faces because Tempest wears a mask that hides helm that hides his face. So I'm inherently distrustful of anyone in armor that hides their face.
Ah, fantastic. Feel free to roll a religion and an insight check.
Okay.
As you're doing that, the celestial woman, right, covered in stars, just looks at all of you and gives you like a deep bow and says, "My name is Lady Ursa. I'd like to welcome you to the Undying Realms."
To where?
The Undying Realms.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay.
Yes.
I got a 15 on the religion check there.
Okay, what was the insight?
Oh, I didn't roll insight. Sorry.
Okay.
That's on the floor. That's 17 though.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe you should roll on the floor every time from now
Yeah,
on.
I should. Apparently, that's a lucky roll.
Religion tells you there are different oaths that can be taken, obviously to all sorts of different gods and different paths, right? It's known that there are people who don't actually swear allegiance to any type of god, but some will swear allegiance to like the actual deep power of the ancients or nature itself, right?
Okay.
And someone who is so very in tune with the world around them and the different pieces of, I'll use the word life force of the world. It kind of gives them their power. This seems to be one of those types of knights. On a 17 insight, this dude is really chill. You recognize a protective stance when you see one, though.
Okay.
It's standing behind Lady Alora.
Okay. Very clearly giving off bodyguard vibes.
Yeah. Just casually observing, could definitely in a second be in front of her with a weapon, ready to break your shit.
Gotcha.
As we like the celestial being like welcomes us, I think Itzel's gonna immediately like kind of be like, "Are you a mantle too?"
Her eyes flash a couple different colors when you say that. More in like delight, you know. She says, "Starchild, interesting. We have much to discuss when you were settled." Presenting Lady Alora.
Odette, like, like curtsies and like holds it and looks at everybody else
Yeah, it's a
and
little,
like
like,
goes
a
a
little
little
like
deeper.
half bow, like yeah,
Now we do the salute. Yeah.
all the actors are like doing curtsies as well or bows, trying to make it look
you
good.
kidding me? They're the ones that are doing the like I'm gonna curtsy with the extra flourish at the end of it. Like I practiced this once for a show I was in. Yeah, like, I can do this in heels and backwards. Yeah,
their form is great. They're just not prepared for the situation.
They were dead or dying, like 3 minutes ago. So
yeah, like recovery is but muscle memory, right? Like
Very hungover. Used to acting on stage while hungover.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Odette goes and dancing. So
and a lot of us are actually triple threats. We sing, we dance, we act. Becca, she, bless her soul, can dance and act, but she's just not a singer. She tries though. She tries real hard.
oh yeah, she's the tryhard.
Yeah, like she's a real enthusiastic singer. She's got great projection.
Mm-hmm.
She's
And
great at
who is
tumbling,
this
though.
that's talking and is just like spilling all the tea?
God. Stanros. No.
Odette kind of like
No, Xandros
like-
is still having his crazy
yeah, I know.
complications. No, this is Valerie.
Becca can take a fall,
Oh.
though. Yeah, I've seen her go.
Now, Valerie, the stage manager, is trash talking one of the actors.
Mhm.
That tracks.
Yeah.
So
So
Odette stays like curtsied until like told not to. So
after a very formal introduction, Lady Laura kind of rises and walks over towards the circle, and also does a very polite bow as well, and walks up and like kind of just puts a hand on either side of your face, Odette, and just goes, "Oh, let me look at you. It's been ages."
it has. She like lets her just like do it. She's used to this. And it has. Lady Laura, I am so relieved to see you again. You saved us just in the nick of time. I am sorry I had to bring all of my actors here, but we had to save them as well. You must meet all of my friends. And then like she quickly like turns to like Bella and she's like, this is Bella, but not the one that I told you about before. She is much more amazing, I would say.
I need Bella to make a deception check right now.
Okay.
Does she know you're a changeling at first glance?
This is that exact phrase is fucking wild, and I need that Bella to do that.
This is Bella, not that Bella. Different Bella.
Yeah, different Bella than I told you about before. Oh, so you've told her about Bella. Neat.
It's gonna be a 21.
Okay, let me check something real quick.
I'm a sneaky bitch.
You are a sneaky person.
Smart one.
Yeah. Woof. Fucking wild.
That's our tagline. Just FYI.
Just absolutely bonkers.
Bonkers.
She looks at you and just nods. Pleasure to meet you, different Bella.
And this is Itzel. She is the one that that found all of us in her prophecies, looking at the stars, listening to the music of the seers. Yeah, and she was able to locate every one of us and bring us together.
Yes, it
It's
seems
true.
that
I saw Death's shadow dancing in a dream.
you and Lady Ursa are going to have a lot to talk about. She's been very excited about your arrival.
And this is Valen. He is easily the strongest person that I ever met. And I worked with some very talented dancers. They're not here right now. She glares at everybody else.
Not these guys. But
Oh God.
When you hear that, when you say Valen is the strongest person I've ever met, you hear
Mhm.
just the slightest shift of metal
From
on
the suit
metal.
of armor.
oh,
Yeah,
oh.
just the most like the most tiny little shift in stance.
And
She said person.
he has vanquished demons, and he serves Tempest, and he is one of the hearts. All of us are the heart of the party, but Valen has a special place in being able to defend and be practically everywhere at once.
She nods to you.
Valen is tearing up.
It is a pleasure to meet all of you. I welcome you to my home and accept you all as my guests.
Thank you. Lady Laura, some of this painting is new. Did you do this yourself as well? And she kind of points at like her entire body and like dress is like painstakingly kind of like painted like china.
I would like you to make a perception check.
Hmm?
If you could be so kind, yeah. And actually, you've been here. You have not been here before. Have you been here before? No. I don't recall.
It's a nat 20.
Oh, is that 20? Okay. Good talk. Good talk. Anyway, I'll just go see myself out.
I summer here. Yeah.
Have you been here before? It's up entirely
Um,
up to you.
I would say once.
Okay.
It was for like a very very special meeting, like when Odette using like not using her book for so long, and then like using the move that she learned from it in order to defeat Chantel the first time. She knew that she had to learn more about it, and like return to Lady Alora and like beg forgiveness for not studying the book that she gave to her on her like basically coming out like quinceanera party.
Okay.
And she's like, "I'm so sorry. I'm ready to learn." And like that's one time she's been here.
You notice, excuse me, you notice a couple changes, right? You're in a basically this is a very generic default. I don't call it a great hall, but like a dining hall, right? Where obviously guests could be brought in. Everyone, like I said, there's some food laid out, but around this area, everything is like, kind of generically mortal, like what people are used to, right?
Mhm.
So it doesn't really just throw a crazy curveball because the rest of this area is gets weird fast. Let's just say that. Um, the two things you really lock in on, though, you're 100% right about her entire new, beautiful, pristine looking artistic change, right?
Mhm.
One, Lady Laura did not have a bodyguard with her last time you hung out,
Uh-oh.
right? That is new. It is kind of crazy that the most powerful undying ancestor has someone guarding her. Like, that's why, right? Two, there's always like a bit of a dark tint around this place,
Mhm.
but a comforting dark, right? The kind of
Mhm.
dark that you can kind of relax and sink into on a day where you have like a bad headache, or when you've worked yourself out at the gym, tired, and you are just tired, and you finally hit the pillows, and like there's that nice inviting like sense of sleep. Um, the dark here is never scary,
Mhm.
right? But it's got edges of it
Mhm.
now. There's edges of actual weird encroaching darkness beyond just the comfort of twilight. And you would probably be the only one that would notice like that degree of shift in tint. That's all said on a nat 20. But she nods and breaks into a very mouthy smile, right? Little skeletal features. And says, "You always did have a good eye. Yes, I thought it was time for some change. It had been a couple 100 years, and I thought maybe the old outfit was, needed to be retired."
Well, it's beautiful. I am a fan.
So, is just for the image, is she like clearly like a skeletal being inside like this like porcelain setup, or is the porcelain like moving as she's talking kind of a so like is there like a sound to it when it like when she smiles, is it like crack or creak or like
No,
Up,
it's
up to
it's a
you.
it's a very interesting combination, right? Because it looks like there is just this person made of porcelain, um,
okay,
but
so
it
she's not
moves
inside
like
it, she's embodying it.
roll
Living
investi-
porcelain.
roll
Yes.
investigation.
Okay. I mean, this is kind of for player wrapping my head around it, but sure.
It could make a difference.
11.
It's hard to tell. Like it could be or an outer shell of some type, but it moves like.
She has an exoskeleton. Your
Skin.
ancestor's a crab. No, okay. I get it now. Very
You
fancy.
found us out.
Or a battle match. Yeah.
Convergent evolution, guys. It's fine.
Do I have stats for giant crabs? I probably do.
Someone does.
Yeah, it's the internet. I can find them. Um, cool. Yeah, you're not really sure what to make of this. It's beautiful. It's really cool. You don't know exactly where porcelain ends and her being begins. Um, says, I understand. She kind of like looks at all the different like wounds you have. I understand that you've had a trying few days.
Yes.
I want to give you some time to compose
Our
yourselves.
car was stolen.
You're what?
I'm sorry.
What is a
No,
what
I'm
is
being
a
a shit. I
is
said
a
our car was stolen.
what is a car?
Um,
I'm
well,
sorry.
I mean, I have to go backwards and tell you about the dusty bitch Odette in order to start the rest.
She
But
knows about Odette, don't worry.
oh,
Oh,
okay. So
I
then
know
you
about
know.
Odette.
Then you know.
Chantel?
Oh, sorry. Yes, that one. Thank you. Oops.
Oh, I don't know about Chantel. No, she knows about Chantel too. That was just me. Yeah.
Sorry. That was it. Thank you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But well, any case, I'm sorry about the loss of your car. Your car.
That's like, it's fine.
Hmm. I wanted to give you all an opportunity to rest, freshen up. There's of course some food, and there are many conversations that I feel we have to have, but not before your health and needs are seen to.
Thank you so much. As always, I am at your service. Whatever I can do to repay you for this. For this is, you saved our lives.
She nods and says, "That is what family does."
And
Nothing owed.
she like hugs her.
Yeah, you hug the yeah, you give her a
The
hug
creepy
and she
porcelain skull woman. Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and she embraces you in a very warm embrace. All right,
Mhm,
seems genuine about it.
mhm.
Uh,
Odette does whisper. She's like, the shadows here are sharper.
so are you since we last met.
Haha.
She like smiles like, ah,
Yeah,
mom loves me.
yeah.
Like kind of a smile, And
She nods with like a little more, a little respect in
No.
her eyes as you say that. And she says, "We have much to talk about, please." And she gestures towards the table for you all to kind of grab some stuff. And what this is the opportunity. So I'm going to give you a choice, right? Uh, you all can continue to push forward and do stuff, or you can take a rest, right?
Long rest would be
Um,
nice, please. Spell slots
Yes.
are a thing.
Very
Right.
much so.
Yeah, even I'm running low on spell slots now that
And
I'm
hit
relying
points.
more on sorcerer stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
I
hit
would like a
points.
long rest to get my
Yes.
hit points back too.
Okay.
to get our memory back, our hit points, our spells, rhapsody points.
Get back your wild
There's a
shape.
lot. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Because someone complained that our fights weren't challenging enough, so Andy threw a whole fucking bus worth of enemies at us this time.
And it was great. I loved it.
Is that not? Oh, I can add more. It's easy. I just have to just copy and paste, and I can just keep adding enemies. It's not hard at all.
That was
So
perfect.
Odette, all the things and the weird demons, just all in one encounter. It's like a what do they call that? Like the boss rush.
Oh yeah. Boss battle rush.
Yeah, no, I did this in Hollow Knight. Yeah.
I have an entire. You've seen it on my desktop. An entire tab of just monster tokens. Like, let's do this. Okay, cool. So she looks at you, she nods, and she says, "Lady Ursa, Sir Osborne, please escort our guests to their rooms."
Odette does kind of like whisper. She's like, only go to the places that you are shown. It's strange here. Sometimes.
Dancer's like, what do you mean strange? Daphne's like, what do you mean strange? Like,
Already strange. Daphne, look around.
Just don't.
yeah, no, this whole thing is this. She like looks at Lady Allura and just stops talking.
Yeah.
She's like, she's not gonna call their guest strange and unusual, but you know. All right,
Valen would clap the dancer on the shoulder and laugh and just follow the guide.
Yeah.
cool.
Thank
Totally
you
cool.
for your
My friend told me
hospitality,
this is okay, and
Lady
it's okay
Allura.
then.
Cool. So they lead you out. They lead you out of this great hall, and that's where the resemblance to like normal things you are used to stops.
Great.
Right. Doors are opened, and you end up in a strange world of just dark lavenders and blues with just like this rolling it's not quite grass but like just rolling like moss or something all over the ground, right? The sun kind of hangs low in the sky but isn't quite uh in the right spot, especially Zell, you notice this like just doesn't track where it's supposed to be, um and has like kind of a pale aura about it that it just kind of gives off this like warm but not necessarily bright light, right? Uh, and then everything else starts to just twist and almost render as you walk forward, right? There's like an odd, call it a mist or some type of sightline barrier almost that stops you from seeing like further beyond this area. Uh, as you walk forward, these different little areas start to create themselves, present themselves to you, right? Almost like the mist is parting, and you see more of this magical place. You see small little doorways that kind of appear in different like stone structures, or in some case, they appear in like larger trees, right? Just like little glowing runes as you're moving about this really crazy place. If anyone would like to, you're welcome to make a knowledge arcana, um, or religion check.
23.
Which one?
Arcana.
Okay.
I got a 3.
3. That shit's cool. Shit's real cool. I have roll for the group. Huh? It's not bad.
Only a 7.
7. Odette, you can roll at advantage.
I was gonna say like I had a thing. 15.
15. Okay. Arcana.
What was the other one?
Religion.
Religion. Then that would be. Yeah, they're both the same. So 16 actually. Sorry.
Okay, cool. On a 16, you recognize that this is the kind of place that part of what makes it safe is that it will only reveal so much of itself to you at a time.
Mhm.
Right? The world around you and the things around you that you see are allowing you to see and interact with them. This is fantastic if anybody comes here and tries to harm this place. It can be very disorienting as things can move around and change. Right? It is very unsettling because there is no horizon lock that you can kind of get on this place. You can't look down the street and see the next thing, right? Effectively, you can only see out about 60 feet. And then after that becomes like weird misty silhouettes and like little dancing lights in this kind of dark purple mist surrounding the area. Right. Itzel on a 21, 3.
23.
Uh, you have had a lot of interaction with Fey nonsense, right? You've seen stuff kind of out in the woods. You think back to, geez, like just a lot of your time spent in the more magical, mystical side of nature, right? Um, this is not the Fey realms, but man, oh man, does it like give off those kind of vibes. There are differences, and they're subtle. If someone who didn't have any experience with one might confuse one for the other.
Mhm.
But there are definite hints that this is a place beyond or hidden from or kind of walled off from like normal mortal rules, which means that sometimes the logic or physics here could be bizarre. And again, to your favor or detriment, depending on the situation. But yeah, as you were being led forward and kind of walking, Lady Ursa says to all of you,
So can we eat the food?
of course you can eat the food. The food is
Sorry,
would
that
you
was
prefer
mostly a
something?
DM question. If it resembles the Fey realm, like crap.
You can't always eat the food. What it does is a whole different thing, but the food is available. But Lady Ursa says, now, we of course want you all to be as comfortable as possible. I understand that there's some differences, and she kind of sparkles as she talks, between, what you're used to and what we have here. But I'm going to just simply ask all of you, think about what would be most restful for you. And she points towards one of the like ruined doorways, just kind of lit itself against like a little stone background, and step through. And gestures towards like another one in a tree, and then another one further down, right, for each of you. And then there's a slightly larger one that just two little runes, kind of making like an actual larger doorway from the center that the dance troupe is kind of moved towards. Um, like, wow, this is really cool. You see all that food back there? I'm gonna stuff myself silly. I haven't eaten like that in a week. Yeah, man, it's so much better than just corn day. Like, there's so many more things we have out here. Like, did you see that? There's a variety of stuff. Like, I was so tired of cream corn and popcorn shrimp and corned beef and cabbage. Like, it's great to have a change. You know what? I think this day's starting to look up.
Liar! No one would get sick of popcorn
You
shrimp.
killed me.
Okay.
Nah, I eat a whole bunch of popcorn shrimp. Like, I eat it by the buckets, and then like I get the sweats and my heart starts going. Like, I should probably just change it up a bit. Look,
Flynn.
we don't make a lot of money.
Flynn, let's talk to
Flynn.
you about heart disease.
Wait, what? That sounds cool. I'll talk to anybody about anything. That sounds awesome. So.
Flynn's most comfortable place is
Flynn.
just like a counter that serves him like the little buckets of fries. Like,
I looks at Val and like, I'm real glad you came and saved me. I'm happy to be a part of this experience. So thank you. Sir Osborne.
Oh my gosh.
Just kind of through like a, doesn't sound muffled, should be, voice just says, of course your safety will be paramount to myself and the rest of the guard. You are guests, and you will be treated as such.
Is this
Please.
the Mossy Knight?
Yeah. Please heed your friend's warning and do not explore beyond what you have been shown. It can be very dangerous.
Did he introduce himself as Sir Osborne?
Nope. Lady
No.
Laura said Sir Osborne will escort you.
Got it. Sir Osborne, I
Yes,
have
my
never
lady.
seen you in this place before.
I go where I'm needed and summoned.
Summoned by whom?
Or were you
He
needed or summoned? Was my first question.
extends a mossy gauntleted hand, um, and just gestures out until to the wilderness, basically. And there's like a soft glow of light. He looks at you and he says, Sir Valen, I believe you would understand the call more than anyone else here.
Give him a nod of respect and walk on.
Lady Ursa says, yeah, so think of something that would be relaxing to you, comfortable to you, and whenever you're ready, step forward.
Valen is a
So
lifelong soldier. It's a small stone chamber with a little pad on the floor, and he's like,
yeah,
perfect. This is great.
it's you walk through like a little ruined archway into like like one room military bunk, basically, right? It's a little more spacious, but it's comfortable, it's cozy, it's familiar, and it's home. And you turn, you look back at the door, and it's just like a normal door, right? And you kind of close it, look out the door again. You see back into like the weird misty wilds out there. You close the door, and it's like, oh, okay, this is nice. Um, cool. And you go in, and there's a little stand for all your armor. There's all the standard things and equipment you would have, like a weapons rack, stuff for polishing, and like doing maintenance on all of your equipment.
Nice.
And like little bits of food. Itzel.
Um, yeah, so she'll go to one of the doors in one of the trees specifically that's visible and like opens it up and like you
Like
kind
step
of like
towards the tree, and like one of the roots kind of lifts you up
awesome.
towards the doorway. Yeah.
And if you like as you open it, you kind of step down into like really warm like turquoise water and sand like out like about like mid calf and like there's like mangrove forest coming out of it with just like a hammock spread between like some of the trees and the roots in there and like birds flipping around and like the like gentle sounds of like actual life and like lapping water going through the roots of and like that like warm and like somewhat humid but like a constant breeze coming through because it's
Mm-hmm.
coastal so like the hammock is like swaying a little bit and there's like a little like stuffed like mossy pillow in there and a sheet or blanket kind of a thing and like a little like sloth
Excuse
hanging
me.
out like right next to the the one side.
As you walk in, like a little bit of water that's there, like Burble pops out of your canteen and goes splashing around,
Yeah.
kind of like stretching his legs a little bit. It's like, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah,
blah.
it's like a maze in there. It'll be so much fun. Yeah, like indicating the like mangrove water. Yeah.
Splash. Very cool. Uh, Bella and Odette.
I'll go. Odette imagines maybe one of the most like lustrous and luxurious sets that she's ever been on. Where it was like it was for d- d- forget Lac de Lune, uh, the the biggest production she's ever done
Of course.
at the Royale de Danse, and it just there is a moon hanging up in the sky. There's just glittering stars on like the background, just kind of like there's like a mist and shadow that kind of like seethes along like the floor, but there's this giant like bed with just like silk pillows and like sheets, and the moon has this silken kind of like webbing or like a veil that comes down over the bed like it's moonlight kind of coming down onto a lake. So she imagines like going to that and just like the expanse of the stage itself, and like a little tray with like treats and fruit.
Nice. Yeah, you go in, you make yourself comfortable. Um, I need Odette to make an Arcana roll at advantage, please.
So bad at it. I'm so mystic and so bad at arc. That's a natural one. So you do.
At advantage,
I'm
please. No, at advantage, please.
I'm I'm so sorry, chat, that you have to witness all of this.
What was your second roll?
Take that guidance on top of your nat 1. See what happens. It could be a win.
It could be. You said with advantage?
Yes.
Oh crap! Well then, that is a.
If you roll two nat ones, we're here
That's a
now.
15.
But... Okay.
I didn't hear advantage, so I just took that one. 15. So.
Cool. He's really committed to me just like messing his world up right now. That you can roll again if you want, dude.
No, I misheard.
It's all good. It's all good.
I really wanted you to get second nat 1, though. I won't lie. Because it would have been.
That would have made things very interesting. You all want that rest, so that was a good roll.
Yeah, we do.
Woof. You, for the first time in a few
We've now learned that this was how long it's going to be before we're all attacked in our sleep.
15 seconds versus 1 second.
I've been playing too much Darkest Dungeon lately.
What is it? Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Yeah. You had, for the first time in a few days, relax. Right. You have been in a series of terrifying experiences back to back to back, right? Starting from being a little, honestly, hungover from Yusef's bachelor party, right? We all went to that, like, just whirling wind nightclub, to...
Which was amazing. A great way to die. The day before you die, you cannot ask for more.
Right? And you go to this beautiful wedding, and then you spend so much effort to keep so many people alive, right? Like Yusef and all these others, but like eventually we're just killed, soul rent from your body. But then you were thrown back by these two strange cosmic entities that basically circumvented the standard death procedure and said, no, it's cool, you get a second chance. And then you were a clay monster for a little while, because that's how they sent you back, right?
Monster's a strong term.
I mean, look, the sea captain that you ran into was very chill. Because most people would have been very upset by that experience. Obadiah was just chilling. And then you fought a bunch of sea cats. You were eaten by a giant, monstrous corpse flower, which was the most terrifying thing. Right?
Was it? Hold on. In the week that we've just had, was that the most terrifying thing?
That was pretty rough, right?
That's where she finally broke and just sobbed in the belly of a necrotic plant.
Right?
That's true.
Eventually got back into your actual bodies, only to run into a scene from a Poltergeist movie where these just insane undead were just absolutely taking glee and trying to horrify and terrify you by ripping off their heads and limbs and spinning around and doing crazy shit. To fighting your way through the Church of Tempest, right? To fighting this like Glabrezu and its like Hezru minions, and to stealing a car, to doing all this other shit. And now, like, this has been, again, I can't stress this enough, in the course of like, I think 2 days. You've only had one long rest as far as I'm tracking. And that was after you came back to life. So when I say you have a chance to relax, I mean like this has been nonstop insanity, and you can finally like kick off your shoes and relax. You take a look over at your book, nothing weird happens,
Mhm.
right? Um, and you safe in this place of your this ancestor, right? Your family. You finally relax. Bella, what's your place look like?
I think the place that Bella imagines is actually a very cozy, like, library. Like, just
Cool.
a, like, the smell of parchment and a crackling fire with a nice armchair to settle in to read at, and just feeling cozy and warm.
Fantastic. Uh, you walk in with that image in your head.
And
But
But actually, so,
You wake up in a canister. Yeah.
yes. It's just your skull friend. Hey, what's up? I heard you were chilling. Now get down to talk. No, you walk in, and everything is absolutely as you imagined it. Right?
oh, yay.
Um, you walk in. There's that cozy, uh, large library of books. From like one of the libraries and places you've lived somewhere in your life,
Hmm.
right? The beautiful, cozy fire, big couch, lots of blankets. Very just like very good. Like let's take a nap and just chill out all day. Um,
Hmm.
and as you're sitting there, uh, you hear a voice from further in the back.
right.
Just say, it's gonna be like 5 more minutes, Bella, and then I'll have a food out, and we can have dinner. Do you want wine? I was thinking
Uh,
wine. There's a
um,
nice rosé I've been wanting to try, and it seems like well, I mean, heck, it's only a Tuesday, right? But it seems like a good excuse to break it out.
uh, sorry, who?
Hmm?
What? I think she's gonna start heading towards the sound of the voice and try to, like, find out who's talking to her.
Okay. Yeah, you walk back in further back, and there's like an extended little kitchen area that you did not envision, right? Uh, and there's someone there cooking food, right? And they like reach down into like a little oven, and they pull out like a large tray of food. And as they turn to look at you, do me a favor, I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 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 Okay.
What'd you get?
I got. Damn it. 8.
8.
8.
Okay, cool. Um, you turn and look at this person, and it's weird. Like they're just dressed in like nice casual clothes, but there is some sort of weird distortion, almost as if like you're watching a film and they blur someone's face out.
Okay.
Uh, Same thing. Face is just blurred out entirely,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And he says, he kind of looks at you. You hear like the clink of some drawers being open, and he like tosses you a cute little corkscrew. You know, just says, "Can you get the wine?"
Uh,
I gotta grab the rest of
um,
the stuff out of the. Are you okay? You look out of it.
you know what? Maybe I need some rest more than I thought. Sorry, your darndest thing, your name is escaping me right now.
Kind of cocks his head to the side. Okay. Well. Hi.
Hi.
And there's a bleep, like you would censor out something. We've been together for quite some time, and I said I would cook you dinner tonight to celebrate.
Together, like.
Is this a bad idea? Should I not have done this?
We're
moving. It's moving too fast. I understand. This is too much. I'll tell you what.
Considering 5 minutes ago, I don't think you existed. I'd say this is a little fast. Yes.
5 minutes ago. I've known you for a year. Okay.
I haven't known anyone for a year.
Look, he like takes off a little apron and like folds it up and like puts it off to the side and says, I'm gonna go. I'll come by tomorrow. We can hash whatever's out.
I'd much rather hash out whatever this is right now.
I feel like I've done something very wrong, and I think this is not a good place for me to be. I made your favorite. There's some wine on the counter.
What did he make?
What's your favorite food? What is
something with Old Bay.
That's we're not breaking the fourth wall here.
It's not breaking the fourth wall. We like to call it bleed. We're just bleeding. Artistic term of.
Yeah, it's this really cool, one of these times Bella traveled to this coastal area and they were known for this like really great spice blend that they just put in all their dishes. Yeah, that's her favorite.
Ah, yes, the spice of the ancients.
Mm-hmm.
It's very old,
cool.
Yes.
Very, very
yes.
old.
Yes.
From the Bay.
But yeah,
it's Old Spice, yes.
It's old. Oh no. Also, I like that your favorite food is just Old Bay. Like it's not actually food. It's just like he's like somehow been slaving over an oven and pulls out just a pile of Old Bay.
It's basically cheddar biscuits. It's just a bread covered in Old Bay. That's
little
my
more
favorite.
Old Bay, just like puts on top of it.
All right, here you go. Here's your spoon.
You guys are acting as if I haven't just made like pasta and then thrown literally just butter and Old Bay on it as a sauce. Like,
There's no base.
That's why.
It's just a fantasy Costco 1 pound bag of Old Bay that you're just eating with a spoon with a glass of wine attached to it.
yes, rosé and Old Bay, an excellent pairing.
Hashtag rosé Old Bay. That's
right.
I'm sorry. We need a T-shirt that says "Rosé and Old Bay."
Rosé and Old Bay.
Rosé and Old Bay all day.
It just has a crab holding a wine glass in one.
with Old Bay on the rim. Yes.
Yeah. Oh
Yeah.
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 To be fair, Old Bay
God,
like rimmed
good.
Bloody Mary. Like mwah.
Those are very good. So yeah, he like is entirely confused by this interaction. Probably more so than you, maybe the same level. But he just like folds up that apron and he's like, "I'm gonna go," and he like heads for the door and.
I think she's actually gonna try to block him because she wants to know what's going on here.
Cool. Make an athletics check. Maybe attempt to like.
Oh yes, the thing that Bella is known for.
Athletics.
Her physical prowess.
Take him down.
Yeah.
Known about as well as her love of Old Bay.
Oh, that was so close to like proving me wrong because it was like almost a 19 and then it kept rolling onto the 3, which means that my total score is a 2 because I have a negative in athletics.
Excellent. What do you say as you do this?
Use the guidance. Add the D4.
Make it better.
Just make it awkward at that point. Oh, God.
It's a very awkward hug on the man who thinks he should be in love with you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't trying to clothesline you.
Yeah.
This is just how I hug.
Yeah, I think she's like, wait, hold on a sec. And like, as she's trying to move, she absolutely just like trips on her robes and like tumbles onto the ground instead.
Okay. You trip, you tumble, right? You fall, and the entire reality of orientation breaks, right? You go horizontal, and horizontal snaps back to vertical real quick as you almost like it's one of those videos where you watch the person like fall over to the bed and then like comes up on the other side kind of deal. Have you seen those?
It's a beautiful effect.
Yeah. And so you do that and immediately like you're no longer in this like cozy library with the kitchen or any of this other stuff. That's all gone, and now you're actually on what looks like a resort or some sort of like beautiful mountain like resort balcony where you can just see these insane views below you, right? And you look over at the table and you see this like this very impressive map that's in your own handwriting of you just traveling around not Neverwinter, the Sword Coast, and like different little destinations checked off. It's a list. It looks like it's taken years of travel to pull that off.
It's a good life.
Yeah, this quiet breeze kind of moves the curtains. A little chilly with the windows open, but it's refreshing, right? You're here by yourself now.
I was gonna say the first thing she does is cautiously start walking around, being like, "Hello, is anybody here?"
The hoot of a snowy owl. The smell of hot chocolate from the next room.
Hoot, hoot.
You hear a voice outside the door say, "Madam, if there's anything that you need from, well, that's how we refer to. That's how we refer to all of our guests."
It's actually a brothel, and you're in charge.
Hell yeah!
I mean,
That's how I can afford
We're
this
not breaking the
lifestyle.
fourth
Hell yeah.
wall. No.
no, you're getting some like real nice ski resort vibes almost.
She's gonna go open the door and like look at who's calling her madam.
Cool. You open the door again. Reality just shifts around you. There's no one there. You're just surrounded by like that weird mist, and then suddenly you're in another very small, cramped looking cabin. It's derelict, right? It looks terrible. There's water damage, there's broken chairs. There are like literal missing beams that have been pried up from the floor and taken by people. And it is just you and someone who has a strange familiarity to them. But again, when you look at them, they have that blurred out face. Not the same person that you saw the first time. That is clear. And he looks just like terribly burnt and injured as he's laying on the floor under a bunch of like mats and bedrolls that have been kind of thrown together. And he's like, kind of coughs up a little bit of blood and says, "Oh, Bella, you made it back. You were able to find some water?"
And she is going to, like, I guess, rummage and see if she's got like a canteen on her.
Yeah, I mean, I think you still got some of your gear with you, so you like pull out a little bit of a little canteen.
Cool. Or yeah, because that won't. Yeah. Okay, so I managed to find a canteen and I pass it to him.
Okay. What is your medicine skill? Do you have a medicine skill?
I am untrained in medicine.
Throw medicine. Because there's some stuff going on here.
It's gonna be a 12.
Cool. Physically, you can see that he is just fucked up, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, he's burned. He's terribly like cut in different areas. He's Bruce is the kind of person where if you saw them just like on the streets, you'd be like, I need to call an ambulance immediately because I'm afraid they're like gonna die as I'm hearing this interaction, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he is still alive right now is more a testament to luck than anything that he or you are doing.
Yeah. Cool.
You also sense there is lingering magic on him from some type of spell effect that may have been responsible for this damage. You don't know or remember like how you got here, right? But you can't pinpoint the kind of effect. So, and he, you hand him to the canteen, and he like just very shakily, like the canteen weighs 1,000,000 pounds, like just takes a sip and then coughs it back up, with just like more water and blood. And he says, "Didn't I didn't think of it. I'm sorry."
What are you apologizing for?
He smiles and says, "You don't have to pretend. I know this is all my fault. It's nice to hear that. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it out of this one." It's okay. I've got a plan.
What plan would that be?
Kind of eyes like start to close and shakes himself a little bit. I think you'd shake him a bit as well to like keep him there. And he raises a hand weakly and like just points like 2 fingers at your chest and just says, "Follow your intuition. Just follow your. You can't. If you just follow it." And then.
Wait, I don't have intuition. That's how I get into these messes in the first place.
And just one long exhale, and he passes away. And I think you're yelled at. You're like, "I don't have intuition. That's how I keep getting into these messes." And you like try and like shake him back awake a bit, and then like again that reality kind of shifts around you, and you find yourself fluffing a pillow on like a very comfortable looking cozy couch in a den with a nice bonfire and all these wonderful books that you imagined initially.
She's immediately gonna be like looking around cautiously and be like, "Hello, is anyone here?"
No, just me.
Gray?
Yeah.
Did you see all that?
See what?
The library with the guy who was cooking, and then the ski chalet, the resort with the person calling me madam, and then the person who was like dying and died, and now we're here, and something is this doesn't feel right. Like I know that this was all going to be magic when we were like imagining a place to be, but I don't think my magic is working, and I don't know why, and I would really like to find out what's going on. So if you could like, if you were paying attention and like caught all that and could like help me brainstorm about what this is, or like, do we need to go find everybody else again, or like.
Roll insight.
Okay. Be a 19.
19.
Yeah.
He says, well, that's incredibly concerning. Walk me through all that again. And kind of ask you to repeat all this stuff and all the details and ask a bunch of questions. Says, it's possible that someone is trying to mess with your thoughts here. This is a very strange place, although why they would do such a thing and what they would gain. No. I would suggest checking on your friends, and I would bring the matter to Lady Laura. We are guests in her place, and this is something that may be of concern to her.
Okay. Okay. So we're gonna go figure. How do we figure out how to get to everybody else? Because they already before me went to like their places. Can I just like step out and just imagine each of them individually, and it'll like piggyback? Do we think onto them, or do I have some way? Would that work? No. I want to try and do a thing.
Okay.
And
Hell
I
yeah.
don't know that it's supposed to work this way.
Even better.
Hell yeah.
I would like to try to use message
I can only get so excited. What are we doing?
because the range is 120 feet.
Yes.
Hmm.
And in theory, in the text, it says I have to point my finger at the person.
I will ask for a DC 13 Arcana check to do this, given your conditions. But I also will leave you with one note, too, that is very important. You go over this. This whole conversation with Gray takes a little time as you kind of go back through each piece. He asks questions, and you kind of meticulously try to describe it. You describe like the blurred out faces, the weird like centered almost beepings of names, and there. When you're describing the food, or in the kitchen scene, you say it was the weirdest thing. He was there in the kitchen making, making food for me and all this other stuff. It was very bizarre. And, well, he turned and I couldn't see his face, right? It was so strange. And Gray asked a question. He just said, so what happened after he put down the Old Bay? And you think to yourself, after you run through this a bunch of times, you never mentioned what the food was. Anyway, you doing what with message?
He agrees, yeah.
I am reaching out to Itzel, who clearly has taken on cat form. Just gonna meow back in response.
Burble's just chasing her around. They both hate each other right now. So, yeah, what do you send? Message is supposed to be like 25 words or something, but like you're out of combat. You can.
I thought it was 10.
It might be. Yeah, it's
25 syllables.
It's short, but
There's
It's a metric conversion.
Yes, 25 washing machines that you can send at one time.
Yes.
We're not in combat. There is no life or death situation that you're aware of, so you can just keep spamming message to get that across. Obviously, in more dire circumstances, I'll be more strict about it.
The text that I have doesn't actually give a limit.
Yeah, you're good. Send a message.
So
There
just
is one. I will find it eventually.
gonna send a message to Itzel first, be like, something is wrong. We need to regroup.
Weird. Yeah, Itzel, this message just pops into your head. You recognize Bella's voice.
Like Itzel's like reclined in the hammock, like chewing on a mango. Like didn't even bother like cutting it up, just like eating it off of the pit. Like kind of a like, like yellow all over. Like
Yeah, you've been like here for all of like an hour. You just chilled out, and you're just like, "Fuck."
like yeah, that like burbles like making little circles in like the shallow water underneath the hammock, like uh like playing with a fish or something. Like there's a little like parrotfish that he's chasing. Okay. Um. All right. How do we? Okay. Um. Okay. Like from the way that she put it, it's like okay, great. Like, well, we've got to regroup. So, like,
I think
when you're inside this, is the door still sort of visible? Just like
yeah.
hanging in the okay.
I
All
think
right.
what I'm gonna do though, just for time's sake, you get that message of like, "Hey, it's something is wrong.
Something is wrong. We need to regroup.
We need to
Yeah.
regroup," and we just are gonna end on Itzel just having like the first chill night in a minute, just going. I think that's the end of the session right there, because that's a very good ending. Very cool.
It's a really good mango.
It's so juicy. It's so sweet and ripe. It's so good.
Yeah, like,
They don't. Nothing better than fey fruit. Is that? Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for hanging out with us in this session. I had a great time. Sad that you did not finish Chantel, but it's okay because you can go back and kick her ass later, right? I will say this, Odette, you can make me an Arcana check real quick to give you a chance to identify that hairpin before I forget.
That is a natural 20.
That's 20.
Yay!
Okay, cool.
So mix up all those ones.
Yep.
This is an insane custom item that radiates necromantic energy, right?
Great.
You spend a little time looking at it and you realize that this has the ability to effectively preserve life force. What this means mechanically, it once upon had 2 charges, it now only has 1, right? If you are down and have to make death saving throws, a charge of this can be expended to simply succeed at a death saving throw track. Right?
At 1 save?
At the full track. So
it's track, okay.
Yeah, you burn the item and you basically get 3 death saving throws.
And that's why it
Pretty
had
successful.
only had one eye lit, because it had already been used. Okay.
1 has been burnt already. Once this is used, that is it.
Which is how she survived the last time. Okay.
That's how she survived the last time,
That
exactly.
bitch!
Okay. So, but that's a cool item and literally has a one and done use. You will survive. You will wake up at 1 hit point and be ready to rock or potentially die again.
Hold on. Very important question. Is it still a pretty piece of jewelry afterwards?
Yes.
Okay.
It's still pretty AF. It just doesn't glow.
Okay.
But yeah. So with that, hey, thanks for the session. Right, this has been great. We'll be back in 2 more weeks to continue our shenanigans. Still fundraising for the International Rescue first session for fundraising for the International Rescue Committee. There we go. $120 in the first session. That's great.
Hell yeah.
5 chunks of advantage for the party members, and of course, all money going to a great cause. Right, and I can't ask for anything more. So. I had a great time. We'll talk scheduling real quick. I'll pull up some Twitch, right? This week, I believe,
We
is
can
Clash
actually
Reunion.
ask for about $1,800 more, but yeah.
First session's still solid. I'll take it.
Look, I'll take what we got. Let's see. This week is Clash Reunion. Jeez, Wildcard Wednesday for the Mercy of Time, and then we turn around and have Academy H live podcast recordings on Sunday.
And
Right, so-
Saturday, has it been announced yet?
It is not, actually. Go for it.
This weekend is Extra Life's Tabletop Appreciation Weekend, raising money for children's hospitals. And Life from the Apocalypse is having 3 games on Saturday morning, noon, and evening.
Heck yeah.
I don't remember what they are.
So
We could probably, the details will probably get released this week.
Yeah,
Yes.
we'll put some. I'll do the social media thing, right? We have Discord and Twitter and all that stuff. So
Real exciting.
Yeah.
hop in, join
Yep.
us. We will post literally all of our stuff there, so you can see it all.
Several people from this game will be participating in the Saturday events.
And that's all I've got. We're gonna raid some people, but does anybody else have anything in their brain? Go for it.
Veil Breakers
Wednesday. Yeah,
Veil
go ahead.
Breakers in 2 weeks will not be happening because we're out of town. So
Yeah.
just a snooze button on that.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Hey, you're right.
Andy and I are at a cabin weekend, so.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
Uh,
Not, with many other people, but
Yeah, okay. You're gonna be strolling into that cabin kitchen, and Andy's just gonna be there, and be like, "Hey, babe, I made your favorite.
yeah, I mean,
I made a plate of
Wanna
rosé.
Want to open up a bottle of rosé?"
That better happen, and there better be pictures.
God damn it! Now we have to do that.
that has to happen. Oh
Or
man,
maybe Laura's gonna get us. It's gonna be
God.
terrible.
The t-shirt-
Take a picture of it
t-shirt
if that
needs to
happens.
happen.
Well, I guess
Can
I'm
we
not
get them
available.
made before then? Probably. So this week's Wednesday, Mercy of Time, it's the penultimate episode. So the we have erupted a volcano and shit is going down.
Ooh.
So
Heck yeah.
I mean that's what happens when you mess with time, people. Like,
No, I
was
get
it
that.
secretly that loaf of bread that they picked up the entire time? We'll find out. But yeah, so that's this week on Wednesday, and then the last episode is the 31st, which is 2 Wednesdays after.
Heck yeah. Very cool. We're gonna raid our friends over at -2 Charisma.
Oh,
Go ahead.
Joe has something.
It's
something.
okay. I'll make it very short. Hey,
Okay.
do you like free improv shows that you don't have to get up or leave your room for?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
And
we have just that kind of thing at Hot Switch Improv. So we do improvised television. So it harkens back to the days where you could just channel surf and click through all your favorite channels, and we do that in improv form with commercials. Even it's great. It's fantastic. You want to see a really sad woman trying to sell her Frozen costumes? She only has 4. You might see that in our improv shows. You want to see a reality show called Murder House, where a bunch of
Murder House.
people are trying to get murdered? That's our best show.
Yeah.
You can check it out on YouTube, or you can go to, I'm going to put it here, our Instagram. It's at hot_switch or at hot switch on Facebook, if you're one of those folks. Check us out. We're going to be doing a thing later on in this month. It's fun stuff. It's free.
I like free. Free is my favorite.
Also,
That is-
tomorrow night I'm going to continue my Torchless run in Darkest Dungeon, raising money for Extra Life.
Heck yeah.
For donations, I will name a character after whoever you want and try with various levels of success to keep them alive.
My character did not survive.
Did any of us...
We had a good run. All
Did
of
any
us
of
are
us
still
run?
alive. I made a group for the
Oh,
Neverwinter Nights. They did a run tonight, a 3rd level dungeon, medium length by themselves, and everyone made it out alive.
Woohoo!
Great success.
Nobody is insane at all.
They made it out alive.
That's the one. Yep. Very cool. All right, you're going to see the same thing of thanks for watching coming up, right? And then about a minute after that, we're going to go raid our friends at -2 Charisma, who are playing D&D. It's, what are they playing right now? Yep, D&D, like a bunch of nerds. Hell yeah.
God.
Cool. All right, hey, everyone, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in a month, I guess, because the asshole DM's going on a trip. All right, thanks for hanging out.